Hi, and welcome to
Cool.
welcome to the Chronicles of Nidum, episode 38, played by us here at Dice of the Beholder and streamed by the wonderful Heavyweight Gaming. Before we go into episode 38, a massive round of applause to Heavyweight Gaming, the amazing, wonderful King in the North, AD himself, who put together a fantastic charity stream and ended up, give or take, raising £2,300 for the selected charities. Just a reminder, there's obviously Mind, Mermaid, and the Rainbow Trust. That money will be distributed between the three charities, and everyone just needs to give him all of the rounds of applause, because I've watched the stream back, unfortunately not being present to be able to see the end, and he had as much energy at the end. I think it was psychotic energy at that point, but he had as much energy at the end as he did at the beginning, and a massive bow to that man for putting it together and for still inviting this group of reprobates to come and stream on his channel. So yeah, we're never playing Vampire ever again. But yes, Eddie, if you want to bring everyone else onto screen for me.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Ow.
Yes, no, we're never playing Vampire.
I am the only one that gave it a round of applause then, because Millie went to but was muted.
Yeah, and
But you were muted and not on screen.
here's the thing about your round of applause. I had just got our fucking dog to settle down.
No, it's not. You've got headphones on.
What's that fucking got to do with the dog? He hasn't got headphones on.
Exactly. How could he hear me?
He can hear you in live.
Oh, yeah, right. We're in the same house.
But yes,
Well, we're in the same house.
Anyway, does someone want one free, slightly damaged wife?
Slightly. That's friendly of you.
Before there's a divorce live on air, thank you for putting into the chat, AD. There is, yes, if you want to catch up on the previous 37 episodes of the Chronicles of Nidum and see us playing D&D much more effectively than we could ever play Vampire the Masquerade, please visit our YouTube channel. If you have friends who don't care about YouTube, ask them to click subscribe on that link so we can change the horrible URL that you can see in the chat right now. But anyway, we've had a week off.
Also, we're on TikTok.
Yes, we are on TikTok. Don't. But yes, we've had a week off. Is everyone ready to play some D&D?
Yes, I've missed this so much.
I mean, sort of, but but at the same time, I resent you implying that we didn't play Vampire the Masquerade effectively. We achieved every objective we were given.
What is dice?
Baby, don't hurt me.
This dice has more than 10 sides. What do I do?
What do I do?
So.
No, I have missed playing D&D. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, episode 38 then, the Chronicles of Nidum so far. After a harrowing journey of many months spent being hunted across the breadth of Cimria and Albion, the party, for the first time since they left their hometown of Nidum, had finally found somewhere they might possibly have been able to call home. They found this in the city of Feldé, the northern Drow capital of the Underdark. They found it to be a haven where, for a month at least, they found there was nothing to do but rest and explore. Some used their time to bring about great changes in themselves and settled into a routine quite quickly, while others took the time to reflect on maybe higher callings and learn more about who they were. And at least one of them just spent the entire time partying with orcs. Alas, after that month had passed, the party were called to action once more. Matron Mother, a friend to them so far, called them to court with a request, one that her people were unable to undertake. The human refugee population of Feldé were being struck by some unnatural disease that seemed to come from the food being farmed in the garden, a place the party had not been privy to much information about until now. With increased enemy movement in the tunnels in the area and none of Feldé's defense force free to help, the party agreed to investigate the issue and learn more about the subterranean kingdom as they did so. So, with your Drow guide,
What's her name?
Liana,
Yeah.
yeah, with your Drow guide, Liana, and
DM, forget a name never.
others of your retinue in tow, Benkin submitting to the leadership of Sepsis, possibly sarcastically, you make your way through many tunnels into the Underdark. As the Matron Mother said herself, it would be about 3 to 4 days' journey, depending on how often you wanted to rest. Is there anything in particular you would like to do or talk about before you get to the garden?
At some point of just before we go to bed for the night, I want to change my armor from infiltrator to guardian armor.
So,
Sorry,
on that-
Bray, how long did you say the journey was going to be?
3 to 4 days, depending on how often you
Right.
wanted to rest.
Okay.
As long as we don't need the extra rest, I'll probably do it in 3 days.
The first day then is an arduous
Gravy
slog.
time.
It is not a level tunnel in any way, shape, or form. You find yourself for a few miles walking down and further down into the earth. The air around you getting hotter, almost to furnace-like temperatures. For at least 2 of you, Sepsis, Dice, it is uncomfortable and unbearable. Ace, you find a strange comfort. It's like being back at home with your pa. Oriana, it's not actually that much of a difference in temperature. You're quite comfy down here. It's nice. It's not humid. It's just a very dry heat. And after a few miles traveling down, you find yourself almost ascending a cliff face. It is so steep to get back up. You have to go on all fours, but climb checks are not quite required. And eventually, after a few more miles, you do end up breaking for lunch. It is a quiet affair. Liana does not offer much up about herself. Benkin, quiet in his walking, and now meditates. After taking a very small lunch, you find 5 sitting quite close to him, comforted by his presence, or appears to be comforted by his presence. Dice.
Hello.
As Dice sits there, pulling out their many different tools. Ace especially notices that these tools are much different from the ones you've seen Dice use previously. Dice seems to have some quite well-made, but strange, maybe with a bit of a Dice flair on them, smith's tools, not tinkers. And using these smith tools, even without doffing their armor, you see an arcane light start to shine from them as Dice starts to work on their armor. The longer they work, the bulkier Dice's armor seems to become. It seems to grow as if below the skin-tight armor, as it previously was, Dice is now growing muscle from nowhere. After what appears to be maybe about 45 minutes to an hour, just at the end of lunch, before camp is about to break, you look back at Dice, and they now even more so look like 5s. A full automaton. Dice seems to have grown about a foot in height and width, and now...
Doesn't that now make you taller than me?
I don't know. Let's stand back to back and find out.
She's around about the same as you now.
Slightly taller. No.
Welcome to 6 foot.
Your wings, fortunately, though, while they're kind of up, still give you like a good foot above anyone else. So technically, you're still tall. But yes, you are now wearing guardian armor instead of infiltrator.
Thank you very much.
You've got beefy.
Well,
You've got beefy.
yeah, it's I can change between the 2 types of armor of Roche.
Oh, impressive.
Yeah, I have to add lots of bits that slide out and change. It's really complicated.
What does it do?
What does it do?
What does it do?
It allows me to go sort of more close combat with Ace to take some of the heat off them, so perhaps they'll die less often.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So
with
we
your
have
crossbow,
2
then?
shields.
And my crossbow?
Shield.
Don't use it anymore.
Nice. So you've got a sword?
You'll see.
Oh, I'm gonna wait for you to whip out your weapon.
Okay. Actually, a groin attachment. It attaches to the front of my armor, and I wave it.
Liana
Ace
kind of
just sighs. They're
Liana
too
kind
used
of
to this
walks
at this
past
point.
you and stops and looks up and down very slowly, appraisingly. Do your features beneath the armor change also?
Unfortunately not.
Oh. Well, no harm in asking.
No.
Are we all ready to carry on?
I think so.
Excellent. And she proceeds down further into the tunnel ahead.
Wait until they find out about the cap and that you could make yourself look like that under the armor.
It's good.
You could if you wore the cap.
I'm not going to wear the cap. I can hide in here and pretend I'm an automaton whenever we go into cities. It'll be fine.
Fair enough.
I do have the helmet down at the moment, so I can just see people rather than being inside a helmet, because, I like my face.
I like it.
Thanks.
Your helmet and your face.
Thanks.
I'm
As
guessing
you
then
all,
this time we've had long rests because I just noticed my current hit points are like 50.
you've definitely had a long rest.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks.
It's been a month.
Yeah, I
You've-
know.
yeah.
Ace hasn't slept.
Ace is an insomniac. He's just been stood there staring at an anvil, just.
There's all the terrible smithing rolls while they were making armor. They just kept like smashing their hands
Okay.
and constantly like losing hit
Ow.
points every single day.
alright.
No, so you progress further down the tunnel. And in another hour or so, after again much more arduous descents, climbs, you start to feel a rumble in the ground beneath your feet. Far off in the distance, there is a grinding of stone that gets louder and louder. Liana carries on as normal, quite sure in the direction that she seems to be heading.
What's that noise?
Oh, it is one of the worms. Nothing to worry about.
The big worms that make these tunnels.
Yeah.
You
And
don't have to be worried about those.
Okay.
nine, they are under our control.
Oh.
Please, and she just carries on. You get to a crossing, and she just steps completely across it. But there is then a tunnel, maybe about 20 foot wide, going completely across your path. Everyone roll a perception check for me.
Oh,
15.
Jesus Christ. Five.
14.
Okay. As you then step across, or sort of over the crossing and look down, you can hear the grinding just moving away from you at pace. The sound is just slowly ebbing away. But you do, all of you, notice just a flash. In the darkness, there is a blue kind of tinge to it, or possibly more Oriana colored, and you can't really determine whether it's scale or chitin or just hard flesh. But as soon as you see it, it just disappears out of the way. And the grinding sound again disappears further off. But it filled the entire mouth of the tunnel.
Do you have names for them?
What, the worms?
Yeah.
Well, I am not a worm rider, so I do not name them myself. However, I know some of the riders to name them. Those they are with for a long time.
You ride them, but there's no room. They take up the entire tunnel.
Oh, nine. There is. Their heads are much larger than some of their body. There is space just behind where the head is, where a skilled rider will be safe.
If I can learn to ride one, will that make me the Kwisatz Haderach?
I do not know what that is.
It's a scroll reference. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Come, we have quite far to travel. We are approaching the spider breeding grounds.
Great.
Do not be alarmed by their size. They are like the puppy dog.
I like dogs.
Okay.
I like dogs.
And she just carries on into this.
I still think they're spiders. They're just going to be the size of dogs.
I give a look
Oh,
over to at the word puppy dogs to see how they're reacting to.
I like spiders a lot more than I like dogs. So
Okay.
Liana, like,
to be
cocks her
clear,
head. Yeah.
I don't actually have a problem with dogs unless they are made of metal and clearly come from hell. I don't like them.
What did he ever do to you?
Quick, the DM's muted. Keep talking.
Liana cocks her head over her shoulder and says, "Nine, they have, sorry, I did not make myself clear. They are like puppy dogs in their personalities. They are much bigger than dogs.
Oh. Okay.
I would love to meet the spiders.
Good.
As long as they're friendly.
I'm guessing not trained puppy dogs.
Yeah.
That'd be
Well,
helpful.
they won't run and jump up.
Nine.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
The smaller ones might, but the larger ones will keep them in check. Come. It is not far.
Do they play fetch?
Dice is very invested in the spider puppies.
It takes another.
Spider pups. Does whatever a spider pup does.
It takes another 20 minutes of just winding caverns before eventually there is a buzz coming from the tunnel up ahead. It's not the buzz of a bee, it just seems to be the buzz of many, almost like just many very hairy things being rubbed against each other over and over and over again.
I don't like that description. Not a fan of that description.
You've already described the worms as basically massive fucking tunneling dicks.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why you have to make everything so gross this session.
He's not dicks. I got sperm.
Yeah, I thought as well. I just put in chat.
I mean, worms are already quite phallic, but like saying that they have bigger heads in their bodies, it's just, why?
Liana does.
The worm, he looks like the baby's arm holding the apple.
Liana turns just before you turn a corner and puts her finger up to her mouth, asking for quiet, and calls you forward quietly and creeps around the corner into, and you can immediately see it's into a huge cavern. The walls fall away, the ceiling disappears. Sepsis, in fact, is the only one who can actually see how far. The ceiling is about 100 foot above the floor, just under 100 foot below you. The cavern itself is maybe about 100 feet across, but it's like a huge ball. And from the parts of the walls that you can see, everything seems to be moving in the darkness, just this a rolling mass of movement, until part of the wall breaks away and starts to descend slowly, ever so slowly, and you can see, slightly larger than a horse, a huge black and red spider.
I'm gauging, like, the more experienced party's reaction before I react to anything.
Yeah, we're gonna see how Liana reacts first.
Are they calm?
Liana is calm. Liana just kind of, it's descending about 20 feet to the left. It's not quite like descending towards you. But Liana kind of just nods and smiles and carries on and steps out into the cavern. And it's then that you notice that it seems like she's stepping out onto air, because the darkness beneath her feet is exactly the same as the darkness below into the cavern. However, she seems to bounce almost in midair. And she seems to be exhibiting the motions of walking across like a rope bridge. And she just continues on across the cavern. And as you get closer then, and even with your dark vision and varying shades of grey, you start to pick out that there is a very, very thick, tightly woven kind of web bridge that spans the entire cavern.
I'm gonna follow her over.
Swing it.
Okay.
I want to start swinging it.
Why?
I'm that dick. I want to be that dickhead on the rope bridge.
She's only doing this because I am that dickhead whenever we're on a bridge together.
As you all step out then onto the rope bridge and start to make your way across, or the web bridge, sorry, and start to make your way across, it is sticky. However, it's not quite entrapping. It doesn't slow you down. It seems to be sticky enough to almost aid you in keeping your footing, but not enough to stop you or encumber you in any way. Even as then, Oriana, you start to try and sway the web bridge, you find there's really not that much give in it. And below you, it's almost as if it's like walking on a boat. On the roll of the ocean is very slow, but it's still very stable. And even like a sway side to side settles very quickly as soon as you stop. However, because you have swayed it in a way that is abnormal to the way people normally cross the bridge, there is a flurry of activity from all around you. You can hear legs start to click against the ground, against the walls, almost as if you've angered them. And Liana does turn quickly. Please do not do anything out of the ordinary here. They will not attack me, however, they have not been fed yet today, and some of the younger ones are quite quick.
Alright. Bet they can't fly.
Well, no, but there are about 1,000 of them directly above us, and they can drop.
Hey.
Please, hang on. And she smiles at you in the darkness anyway. She's chastising you, but she obviously found it quite funny. And continues on across the cavern, sorry. And you can see then as you walk, there is a doorway leading to another tunnel further across. Walking through tunnels again, the journey is arduous, up and down a hill. However, it does start to get wetter as you go. We have made good time so far. However, if we find a dry spot, I believe now would be a very good time to rest for the night. And you do all feel it in your legs. You have been walking for a considerable amount of time this day. And as Oriana, you check your watch in the darkness, it does show that it is approaching around about 9 o'clock. It takes maybe another half an hour. You do eventually find what appears to be a small cave dug out by hand. It's easy to see the tool marks as you enter it, and Liana takes you straight in. And the floor of the cave seems to be completely covered in dry straw, like animal bedding. This is one of the very many spider keepers' resting places. I hope you find it to your liking. I will take first watch, if that is all right.
Yeah, be my guest.
How long do we have to rest here, Rich?
About 8 hours.
I was going to say, because for sleep purposes, it would make more sense for me to take 45 minutes to change to Infiltrator, sleep, and change it back at the end of the long rest. I can change it at the end of a short or long rest, but I don't think you can sleep in Guardian armor, personally. I mean, I could. I will. It's fine. I'll just lie there like a lump of metal. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, isn't it easier to take off due to your armorer, your new armorer class?
I mean, I think, I don't know how long it takes to doff. It's more complicated than that. No, I'm just going to spend 45 minutes making it the skin-tight version and just lie down in it.
Okay. And again, you see Dice pull out their new, quite snazzy smith's tools and start to shrink, and the armor starts to shrink around her as she works. Is there anything any of you would like to do before you sleep?
No.
No.
Have we seen anything like growing in the cave? Is it worth me looking around for some sort of, mushrooms, mosses, anything that might be useful in my alchemical pursuits?
Roll me a nature check.
Sure. 15.
Okay. As you take a look around your home for the night, Sepsis, you do discover that most of the walls in here seem to be dry because the walls are covered by a very fine film of web. And the web seems to be, and as you look around further, the web seems to be funneling all of any moisture, any damp in the cave, straight onto itself, and it then beads and runs to a trough that runs straight out of the cave, keeping your surroundings dry. What you discover then at the bottom, in the trough, and growing around the trough, seems to be some fungus. The fungus itself, though, has taken on almost web-like qualities. It does not grow as regular mushrooms above ground would, and it also does not grow in the kind of solid mass that you would normally find underground. It is very thin, almost, but not quite, of web consistency, and the fungus is also very sticky, but it is not covered in web. It seems to have grown from the web itself. And it is a fungus you have never seen before.
Apologise for any sort of background noise. My dog is being a lunatic.
Are you ready?
He's sort of pushing himself around the floor without standing up. No, there he goes again. I'm going to show this to, was it Liana, our guide?
Yep.
And ask her if she knows anything about it.
Oh, that is, well, in your tongue, it would, I suppose, be web shroom. Though it does
very
not look...
creative.
In our tongue, it is much more poetic. but I wanted to explain it to you and help. If you don't want my help, you can take it
No,
elsewhere.
of course I do. Yes.
It has very few uses. It is not medicinal. Far from it. It is quite the opposite.
Sorry.
It is incorporated into a more cloying poison. There is, it is quite barbaric. We have not ourselves used it in a very long time. However, if treated correctly with a gaseous poison, it very much increases the poison's ability to hold onto the walls of the lungs of your victim. It is much harder to resist its effects.
So it's more an additive for existing poisons rather than a poison in and of itself, then?
Yeah, yes.
Interesting, thank you.
Though it is much more effective if it is incorporated during the creation of the original poison, not added to an already made one.
I understand. You seem to know quite a lot about poison craft, Liana. Is this a special area of your interest?
We are Drow. It is taught to us as the speech, as the talking and the walking is. We have for a very long time needed that little something extra to help us defend ourselves from not just the surface world, but those that dwell below also. Poisons have been part of Drow culture for a very long time.
I find that very interesting. Do you know of any other materials that we might find down here on our journey to the garden that would be useful in that kind of crafting?
Not so much in the tunnels. They are gone over so often by the worms, and there is a lot of how would you say, foot traffic. That most things that grow down here are perish very, very quickly. However, the garden itself, I think you will be pleased to find a great many things that do not grow anywhere else in the world. That will be, to a alchemist, I'm assuming, such as yourself, very fine finds.
It's interesting to me that this is such a part of Drow culture. On the surface, I tend to have to conceal my interest in such things lest people think ill of me.
Well, it is just another thing to study. You have obviously people on the surface world who study medicine. You have people on the surface world who study medicine so much, in fact, they would not have a job if people did not get poisoned. Sometimes it is not, I suppose it would be insane not to study poisons and discover what their effects were. Otherwise, how could you possibly hope to heal someone who was poisoned?
Yes, that is true.
It is all about balance down here. We study medicine. Poison is the opposite of potion. We deal with both.
Like you, I've found that in confrontations with those who may have physical advantages over you, it can help to even the footing a little.
Of course. Anything to make it a slightly more beneficial playground for myself.
Yes. some of my colleagues here prefer to always engage in a fair fight. I consider a fair fight to be a little too dangerous.
I consider a fair fight to be one that I win.
I like your way of thinking.
I am pragmatic, as are many of my people.
It can be important to be pragmatic. Not everyone understands that.
No, but the longer you live down here, the more pragmatic I believe many of us become.
So yeah, up there as well.
The greatest poisoner of our entire race, she is a paragon, is the Matron Mother herself. She has forgotten more things about poison than most of us will ever learn.
If we ever make it back to your city, which I hope to.
I also hope to.
Yes. I'm interested in pursuing this with some of your eminent crafters. I didn't have much time in the last month.
You should ask the Matron Mother. If she has a moment, she has been known to wax eloquent for hours about poisons. If the person asking the questions is the correct kind of student.
That sounds it sounds very interesting. I shall have to bring it up with her.
Well, if there's nothing else, Sepsis, I will go back to my watch. It has been quite nice speaking to you. I do not think we got off on the right foot before we left, but it is nice to know we have something in common.
Indeed.
Danke.
Night.
And she stares back out into the tunnel. Anyone else before you lay your heads down to rest?
No, sleep time.
Okay.
You're muted, Mill.
No, I'm fine. Once after the long rest, I'll change it back to Guardian and just assume that's what I'm doing moving forward.
It is a easy and quiet night. You all dream strange dreams, but they are strange in the fact that there is no substance to them. You all find yourself in your own kind of strange sea or misty glade. No real detail, as if something is trying to push through and speak to one or all of you, but can't quite get there. Apart from you, Ace, as you sleep, there is a hammering sound, a huge iron hammer on an anvil that, in the way that dreams tell you, is the size of the world. And with each hammer, there is the crack of thunder, a flash of lightning, and you can smell almost the ozone, the air burning around you. And it's at that moment that you wake first, and you see Five's large metallic foot plunk down next to your head, and you look up, and Fives looks down at you. Fives looks down at you. Ready to go?
Yes, I think we are.
Wake others.
I will. I'll get up and start sort of staring everybody awake.
I would assume I've woken up slightly earlier to change my armor back.
Mm-hmm. As you look across, then you can see the dice is already awake and is changing their armor, expanding the arms, the legs, the chest. Ace, Oriana and Sepsis are just kind of, I don't know where Sepsis is actually, probably hiding under a hay bale.
Under a spider.
Brianna's lounging.
Oriana's lounging.
Nemesis probably will have found somewhere a little bit more comfortable to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sepsis had a month sleeping in a bed.
Ooh.
We're committed now.
And without much ado, you have breakfast and break camp, and Liana leads you further into the Underdark. It is getting, on the second day, it does get much hotter. Uncomfortably hot, even for Oriana and Ace. I want Dice and Sepsis. In fact, Dice, Sepsis, and Ace to roll a Constitution check. Ace, you get advantage because of your smithing background.
Is that a check or a saving throw?
Sorry, saving throw.
All right.
Do I get disadvantage for being inside metal armor?
No.
Cool, thank you. You're a kind and generous DM.
It's magical armor, we'll say.
It is magical.
It is magical.
I got 24.
30.
23.
Oriana
Sorry.
got head.
Rooston.
I got 24, and that's presuming that I didn't have Ace's boost. But if I'm close enough to Ace, then I got 24 plus whatever that means.
You're all close enough to Ace.
Ace,
You
what's your
get.
boost on saving throws?
Hmm?
What's your boost on saving throws? Your aura?
I feel like it's +3, but I'll double check.
It can make a big difference with dice in this instance.
Sorry, just double checking.
It's okay.
It is a +3.
Yeah.
I've got it up in front of me. It's a +3.
16 then.
Cool.
27.
Okay. It is after an hour, just existing in this kind of heat. It is arduous. You do feel, a lot of you, more tired than you've ever been, but you do push on. You faced worse and survived, and you do not, none of you, take a point of exhaustion.
Speaking of point of exhaustion, I have one. Do you remember why that was?
Oh
I
yeah,
think that
a-
was the aboleth. I could
yeah,
probably take
that
that
was,
off.
a while
you
ago.
can get rid of that. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, stop, don't do that.
So you progress further into the tunnel. It does not get any hotter, but it's not getting cooler either. It's quite leveling out. You can hear the echo of a bubble popping in the distance. And the tunnel ahead does seem to be lit with some dull red glow. And you can hear, ever so faintly, a hammering. All of you can, not just Ace.
Liana, what's that?
It's good that all of your perceptions are so good. We must be very quiet. We cannot disturb their work. They are okay with us crossing their territory, but do not endeavor to speak to them or try and break their concentration. They do not take kindly to distraction.
Can I ask who
Yeah.
they are?
Yes, we are about to enter the realm of the fire giants. They keep to themselves mostly, but just be very careful not to disturb them. This is not
Okay. Like to break their flow.
this is not like the spiders. This is very important. Do not disturb them.
Best behaviour.
That'd be good.
As you make your way further down and the red glow starts to get brighter and the heat starts to build slightly, the floor before you goes from rough stone to paved, cut, smooth stone. It is incredibly shiny, bright, like glass, but black. And as you make your way forward, you can hear your heavy footfalls, and Liana kind of gestures for you to move even slower. The stoned floor eventually then rises up to meet the walls, and you can see that the wall is held up by beautiful artwork carved into obsidian and just like placed into the walls. The tunnel starts to get wider and wider and wider until it's about 50 feet high and about 40 feet wide. And eventually you turn another corner and you can see into a huge chasm. There is a bridge that stretches across it. The bridge seems to be made of stone and metal. The supports, the structure holding the stone floor seems to be a black metal, unlike adamantite, whatever your armor's made of. But it is a dark metal, and you can see as you step out then onto the bridge that you are maybe 150 feet above what appears to be a huge lava lake. You look off to the left, maybe about 200 feet away, there is a lava kind of waterfall that falls about 200 feet from above you, straight down into the lake. And as you stare down at the lake, you can see even from this distance, there are some hulking, huge figures moving from the lake off into a far corner where you can see a forge that is larger than any house you've ever seen. The design of it, Ace, you are struck dumb. Your jaw drops. The design of the forge is stunning. It's beautiful in its simplicity, but even as you stare at it, you can see the artistic flourish and little bits of like extra detail that have no place there, but are so intricately crafted, so intricately forged, that it's like, it takes your breath away. You can tell though that if you were standing up in front of it, it would be larger than it would be about 5 stories tall. And the hulking figures standing in front of it, as they turn towards the lava, it looks as if a couple of them have set their faces on fire. But as you start to see more clearly through the haze being created by the heat, you realize that they haven't set their faces on fire. Their beards are made of flame, or at least from this distance, it looks like they are. Their hair seems to be glowing like the slow, dull embers of a campfire. And they move, and as they move, you can feel a small earthquake beneath your feet with every single step they take. The small shudder goes through the bridge. There are some smaller figures around them. Can everyone roll me a perception check, please?
Yes.
No, because Waffle won't let me get to my dice.
I have rolled a 3.
I got a nat 1.
4.
16, 17, 20.
Blaming that on you. You.
Dice then. There seems to be almost a tiny, if you were looking at normal-sized humanoids, you would think that these smiths were being followed around by their children. But these children are too sure-footed, too coordinated to be like childlike giants. And as you get a closer look, you see that the ashy red tone of their skin, there are huge muscles below them, though the figures are very, very small compared to their giant companions. There seem to be a lot more of them, and they seem to be working in unison, helping stoke the forge. You reckon from this distance, you gauge it, they'd be about 6 to 7 feet tall, most of them. But they are hairless, ashy red skin, most of them wearing nothing but a smith's apron, belt of tools, and there are about 20 of them running around. And you can see sometimes that the giants will cock their head, and you can hear some distant rumbling of some sort of language, and then you'll see a sect of maybe 2 or 3 of these smaller figures run off to do the giant's bidding.
When you say they're just wearing an apron, sorry, just to clarify, are they wearing trousers?
No.
Oh. All right.
That's bloody out.
Just wanted to know.
It's a smith's apron. It pretty much goes all the way around.
Still. There's lots of little butts running around.
There's lots of little ashy red butts.
It's like a hospital gown, isn't it? So
Heavily muscled ashy red butts. That are about 150 feet away.
I immediately point this out to Oriana.
I've seen. That's a lot of butt.
So much butt.
It's very ashy.
I stay very quiet.
Liana puts her finger to her lips once more, doesn't say anything else, and then proceeds across the bridge. I would like everyone to make a stealth check, please.
I have disadvantage on that.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Guardian Armor does not have the same benefits as Infiltrator. Right, believe me.
16.
11.
Come on, don't do anything. Oh, we're actually, well, we're not. I'm going to use Flash of Genius to add 4 to it. So I've got 12.
Okay. Sorry.
So it's actually a bonus for Infiltrator in particular. If I'm wearing Guardian, I don't get the stealth bonus. That's the...
Awful.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have disadvantage, but you don't get the stealth bonus.
No. The bonus to stealth with Infiltrator is that I don't have disadvantage even though I'm wearing heavy armor. Guardian doesn't have that.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
Sorry, so what was yours, dice?
12.
Ace?
With Flash of Genius.
10. Back to
10.
true form there.
Okay, Oriana?
11.
And Sepsis.
I'm the sneakiest. I got a 16.
Hey.
Ah.
Okay. As you are all walking across then, Sepsis does curse as you see, as you, Sepsis, notice that your companions are not as light-footed as you wish they could be. However, as you peer then down into the chasm, you see that the fire giants themselves are not paying any attention. They do not seem to look up at all. A couple of glances come your way from their smaller companions,
Come here.
but they seem to ignore you and carry on with what they were doing. None of you failed horribly, so that's fine.
Only because of the Flash of Genius.
What is
Oh,
the flash?
8.
8. Yeah, that might have been bad. You do eventually then get to the other end of the chasm, the other end of the bridge, the opposite side of the chasm. And as you pass through the door and into the tunnel, it immediately starts to rise. And you can see then that the dampness or the moisture on the cave walls is immediately starting to turn into steam here. So as you progress, your vision is cut by a mist that just appears in front of you. You can just barely see maybe a couple of feet in front of your eyes. However, as you climb, it very quickly starts to cool down. You're all soaking wet, but about 10 minutes later, you find yourself in, again, a dark and cold tunnel. Very thankful to still be alive and not have to make any further constitution saving throws. So, is there anything else anyone would like to ask then for the next couple of days before you get to the garden.
No.
I wouldn't mind asking Benkin something.
Okay. So, over the next couple of days then, there are many opportunities to sit with Benkin during a rest, or a short rest for lunch, or a long rest. On one such occasion, you'll find yourself near Benkin. He has no one else near him apart from Fives.
I was just wondering how long you've known Anne Kane.
Well, Anne Kane is maybe 25 or so. Yes, 25 years old, I believe. And this midsummer, we met when he was about a small child, maybe 7, 8 years old.
And has he always been the way he is, with his attitude?
No. He was a very bright, happy child. You ask me these questions, and I answer having seen everything with new eyes. How much do you know about the awakening, as my people call it? Have you heard that term?
In passing, I believe.
Well, it is not a secret I feel I need to keep anymore, so I will tell you. When the great cataclysm happened many years ago, we found, because of, I won't say the actions of the human king, because I do not know yet or anymore whether that is the truth, but because of that cataclysm, because of whatever happened back then, we as a race found ourselves losing touch with our birthright, the magic of the Fae.
Yeah.
There was rumor that the actions of our leaders taking us out of nature and into the cities meant that the Feywild has turned its back on us, but it was enough that we had to help those who were there. We could not believe that our choice to help the remaining humans in the world could be a bad thing. However, again, looking at that with new eyes, that is perhaps closer to the truth.
If the way humans are treated by elves now is their idea of being helpful.
That was not our original intent, at least not mine, I promise. But it would appear that a long time ago, one of our great elders came up with a solution to our waning abilities, our waning magics. And his solution was the awakening, a ritual in which we would be imbued with magical power, not to extend our lives as long as they once were. As you know, elves were once effectively immortal if there was no outside influence. But it would greatly extend our lives, give us access to different magics. It happened differently for everyone. My skills, or the abilities I have, meant that I was destined for the Order, as were Anne Kane's. He showed in his youth a small kind of penchant for psychic ability, as I did. And once his awakening occurred, at the age of 13, his power grew exponentially. He worried me at first, but I put those worries aside and continued to train him, sure in my sure then, in my knowledge, that I would be strong enough, I suppose, to guide him in the right direction. That may have been avarice or arrogance on my part.
I'm guessing from that point, focus is put onto training and not so much onto teaching them how to be a person.
It is not part of our tenets to change who you are. We just hope that the skills and the teachings that we do give will endeavor to help you realize your true self, and that true self is a good and faithful member of the Empire. Unfortunately, I will say this in his defense, though not a great defense it may be in your eyes, but most of whatever Ankane ever does is for what he believes to be the greater good.
Everyone's got their own version of what the greater good is.
I suppose everyone...
For instance, mine at the moment would be the complete downfall of the Elven Empire.
I can understand where that might come from. As I said, I have had about a lot of time alone recently to think and go over the events of my life from a different point of view. It is abhorrent what we have done to your friends and their people. I did not realize how bad it had been until I'd had it explained to me by yourselves and one other who I have grown to trust.
I think it was easy to see how bad it had been with the fact that they made to wear collars and cuffs. You've got to be trying really hard to turn a blind eye to that.
Yes.
But
a lot of evil has been done in the name of guiding them on a better path.
I think the elves have done enough damage to themselves as well. I don't hate Ankane. I don't agree with the way he speaks, and I do think he needs taking down a few pegs, but I feel sorry for him and for you. Because I think at this point, you're all being lied to.
There may perhaps be a way to show my people the truth. I've not thought of it yet. If you have any ideas, feel free to share them. But I do hold out hope that perhaps if we show the truth to enough of them, we may be able to change the world.
I'd hope that showing them that humans are perfectly capable beings would be enough, but at this point, so much damage has been done to the humans, I feel like they'd want to do to the elves what they've been doing to them the whole time.
Then it will be a complicated path to peace.
Let's hope we can get peace in the end.
I've been around for a while. I hope to be around for a while more, and I will endeavor to spend the rest of my days helping that peace come to pass.
Well, if we can get into Ankane, or get Ankane to understand and see himself, then hopefully we can make anybody else see.
Perhaps. I have Asher to help me if we ever meet Ankane again, and I believe between the both of us, we may be able to sway him to our cause.
What happened between those two?
Ankane told me Asher was captured and perished down here, which is why he hated them. So it would appear Asher tells a very different version of events. There were some Drow children captured in an excursion into the Underdark. Asher was trying to deliberate whether she should allow them their freedom or to take them as prisoner. And Cain decided neither option was good enough for them, and they should be killed where they sat.
Oh.
A fight occurred. You've seen the scar on Ankane's face?
Yeah.
And there is, you remember, a scar down through his eye.
I know the scar.
That was Asher.
Ah.
Whereas he told me it was the Drow raiding party that took her.
And if we come across him again, are you going to confront him about this?
I am going to try and save my apprentice. If I can.
If there's anything I can do to help, I'm willing to try. I'd rather save someone than put them down, but at the first sign that he's gone too far, I'm not going to leave him for dead unless I know he is dead.
And I will endeavor not to give up on him.
Okay. You fix him or I kill him.
I apologize, but I hope you'll understand if I do not wish you luck and hold on to all that luck for myself.
Oh no, I wish you good luck. But I'm gonna kill the brat if he doesn't get his attitude together. He hasn't got some girlfriend somewhere he's trying to protect or something, has he? Someone he's trying to keep a secret or...
No. From what I know, he does not swing that way.
Oh, boyfriend.
Perhaps not when he's told me about.
You're allowed to? I mean, you must be allowed to, the way you've been going on with the Matron Mother.
We're knights, we're not monks.
You never know. When somebody uses the word order...
I must meditate. It has been a long day.
Meditate away.
It's strange if someone's watching.
All right. I just turned round.
Ace, Sepsis, was there anything you guys wanted to do before the travel to the garden? If you're saying anything, Sepsis, you're muted.
No.
Oh, no, he's not.
I wasn't
Okay.
saying anything.
Okay, cool. So, over the next couple of days, it is it's like a maze, the Underdark. Without Liana's guidance, you are almost certain that even with a map, many of you would have gotten lost on your own. But eventually, after a couple of days, trudging through dark caves that look very, very alike, you're almost certain you've gone around in circles at least 10 times on the third day. It is on the morning of the fourth day that there is a source of light up ahead. Liana smiles and turns to you all. I'm afraid I will not be very much help much further. It is very difficult for me to see out there. It is like being above ground. You will see why, I think, when you get there. It is better that I do not describe much. It is, I think, always very nice for everyone to experience it for the first time themselves with out any preconceptions. I would ask that while you are there, be careful.
Oh no.
Be wary of your surroundings. Be quiet. Be stealthy. And if it looks like a tree trunk and it smells like a tree trunk, but then it moves, it is not a tree trunk. And
No.
don't be startled. Don't make any loud noises. They most of the time will not even know you are there.
Okay. Are you going to wait here?
No, wait, hang on. Let's not move on. That was unnecessarily cryptic. If it looks like a tree trunk and it smells like a tree trunk, but then it moves, what is it? Other than not a tree trunk.
You will see.
No, none of that.
When you get to the end of this tunnel, you will find a horn hanging from the wall. Blow the horn and look above the tree line.
Why don't you just tell us the answer to the question?
Oh.
Because I like surprises.
Okay, I don't. What's the tree-looking thing?
I like surprises.
Right, but you're not even going to be there to witness the surprise. I have to deal with the surprise. This isn't your choice. You're supposed to be guiding us. A guide tells you what to expect.
Well...
Oh, enjoy a surprise for once, Sepsis.
Why?
Because it's fun, and I head towards the entrance immediately looking for a horn.
Okay. As you all then progress down the tunnel towards the growing light, which does or is very reminiscent of daylight, we are going to take a break.
Yeah, we've Em's having laptop problems.
Yeah, because Em's having a couple of laptop problems, and I know the cameras have gone off center. So I think 9 minutes to 9. I think now would be a good time to take a break. When we come back, I hope we'll have it sorted. But yeah, so we're going to take our break. We'll probably be about 15 minutes. So back at about, say, 5 past, at the latest 10 past. But yeah, thank you very much, those who are watching. Thank you very much, those who have joined and have stuck with us so far. We will be back in a bit for the party's entrance into the garden.
Exciting bits.
Oriana's going to blow a horn for the first time in a month.
There's a sentence.
See you in a bit.
I got your picture, I'm coming with you.
Hi! Welcome back to part 2 of episode 38 of the Chronicles of Nidum. We have an M back. Yes!
Hey, welcome back, Em.
Yeah.
Hopefully, any further connection issues can fucking do one. But yes, so where we left off, Liana, after just giving you some little tidbits about what you might come to expect, some very cryptic clues of what you might come to expect in the garden ahead, smiled and waved you on your way, much to Sepsis's dismay. So, as you all then head towards what to many of you looks like daylight, it is a shock to your eyes when you turn a corner. Most of you are blinded for a second, and you blink the blur away. And as your eyesight starts to clear, none of you are quite certain whether what you're seeing is real. Off in the distance, for what appears to be miles, as far as the eye can see, is just lush greenery everywhere. Forests, water, but it's warped in a way. And as your eyes effectively adjust to what you're seeing, you notice that the green goes out, away, and up, and up, and up. And many of you crane your necks until the ball, almost, of what you've stepped into becomes apparent. You are in a huge, what looks like ball, and the greenery is all around. And as the Matron Mother explained a couple of weeks ago, gravity holds very little purchase in certain areas. Maybe a mile away, straight across from you, is a lake that you can see, surrounded by forest. A few miles directly up is another lake. But it's not falling out of the sky. At the center, you can see what appears to be a huge tree, gnarled, old, bark more akin to stone in its ash and almost white color as it spreads and gargantuan up out of the ground and into the sky. Its branches above almost cradle, but are not burnt by what looks like a huge ball of fire. And if you weren't absolutely certain that you were still underground, you'd think you were looking at the sun. It just hangs there. And from what you can determine, it's in exactly the center of the ball. Directly above that sun, then, another tree, flipped on its head, branches leading then another mile or so straight to its roots, which connect to the roof, or the ceiling, or maybe the floor, all depending on where you're standing. You find yourself standing on a lip of rock, a large cave. There is a small walk down into a valley just before you. Grassy fields stretching out ahead with trees, forests, huge cliff faces, waterfalls, heading off in strange directions. A river that at some point almost floats in midair before again crashing to the ground. It's a paradise, but it's almost like a world inverted. Everything you can see grows towards the sun that hangs on its own in the middle of the ball.
This place is weird.
This is something I know. I didn't think it would be.
Ill?
This is.
The tree is very familiar to you, Ace.
Ace is going to turn to the others and just say, Is this the Yggdrasil?
The what?
What?
The center of the world, the center of the universe.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No.
Everyone apart from Ace then roll me a religion check.
While I'm doing it, I'm going to just think to myself, "Oh, that's a big claim for anything to be center of the universe. I mean, that's a cocky tree right there."
I rolled one, but I'm gonna say that I didn't roll it because there's no way Sepsis would have learned about this.
Oh, okay.
19.
I got an 8.
Ariana did.
I got an 8, and I truly believe this is just a cocky tree.
Coffee tree.
Fucking arrogant.
Dice, then you are confused. You've never heard this term before. Oriana, however, as soon as the word Yggdrasil comes out of Ace's mouth, your eyes just fall to Ace's armor, and you can see there, behind the etched hammers of Thor, you can see the scrollwork, the roots, the branches, the gnarled trunk in all the corners of her armor, or their armor, sorry. And you remember from the strange teachings that came from Pa as you sat in the forge, flirting with Ace's Pa, trying to make them uncomfortable. Ace's Pa ignoring your flirtatious advances and just going on and on about Thor and Odin. And you remember, and the story of Yggdrasil, the World Tree, comes to you, as told by Ace's Pa. Not as much detail as Ace would know the stories, but you know that it's very important to Ace's belief structure.
Wow. Well, I mean, it definitely could be.
What's a cocky tree?
No, the center of the universe.
You also see Oriana hanging from the tunnel wall just before you leave it. On your left is a large horn. Not from any animal you've ever seen, but there's a horn there.
I point it out to Ace. I go, maybe you should blow it.
Aces never want to blow their own trumpet, so yes, they should blow someone else's.
Lol.
I am handing you the horn to be blown.
Okay. Ace sort of tentatively takes it and takes a big breath.
Okay.
And bellows into the horn.
All of your cheeks.
Ace,
Mm-hmm.
I would like you, give me a second. Dun, dun, dun. Decides it wants to work. There we go. I would like you to make me a charisma check, please.
Okie dokie.
Or if your performance is any higher, I'd like you to roll that for me.
Okay. I feel like charisma's higher. One sec. Just checking.
Couldn't possibly be higher.
Performance is a charisma-based skill.
Right.
So
Plus 3. And performance.
Oh, Aces
Can I
can
give him help on it?
them.
And help on it?
That would be 21.
21.
We don't
Okay.
need it. We don't need it.
A incredibly loud and deep sound rings out. And you think perhaps because of you're inside a ball, it starts to echo and build on itself. And as the sound travels, you see the forest, the entire world before your eyes come to life. Winged creatures of all sorts start to burst out of the trees from all directions. Their wheeling in the air is even more confused by the shifting gravity as they move into different gravitational pockets. You also see the forest itself, or at least parts of it, start to move. one large tree trunk devoid of all branches starts to rise until it is higher than most of the trees you can see. And then you realize it's not a tree trunk. There's 3 more join it. And they start to move, and you notice the large heads on the end of their long, long necks. Again, creatures you've never seen before. Everyone roll me a perception check.
Well, that's also crap. What is wrong with my dice? 7.
It's
10.
10.
3.
What was yours, Sepsis?
18.
18. From this distance, your eyes, you were sure, would fail you, but Sepsis, you notice that these are scaled creatures, possibly reptilian, lizard-like in nature, but they are gargantuan. There are a few more you can see kind of step out of the lake, a mile in the distance.
Get the shit out of me then.
You can see that these are much lower to the ground, still huge, but their necks don't come up. They just seem to be as long as a train, as long
My
as the land
apologies
train
to
would be on.
headphones wearers, including
Yeah.
everyone I'm in this call with.
Billy.
But you also notice then that a lot of the winged creatures that you saw leave the trees are not birds. Some of them are also scaled, reptilian, but they seem to have huge wingspans. They just glide through the air, chasing the flocks of birds as they wheel. What would you like to do?
Why did they
Kratos
tell
is
us-
just in awe.
Why did they
And,
tell us to blow the horn if it was going to summon everything?
You do
I
notice
don't think any of it is
nothing
hostile.
seems to be moving this way. The echoing sound from the horn sounded very organic, like it was an animal call. It just seems to have kind of woken everything up, but nothing seems to be heading in this direction.
I think they all have their own path right now. Don't think they have
Okay.
any interest in joining us.
Well, let's try and keep it that way while we find where these crops are being grown.
Where did we?
So, should we head towards the tree trunk?
That's
Sepsis.
probably the best place to start.
Yes.
With your perception check, you can see off in the distance, over a mile away, just past the lake, that you can see the nearest lake to you. There does seem to be some cultivated ground.
Okay.
It's a lot more square. It looks like it's been worked and cut out of a clearing in the trees. There is a large plain and what looks like a dense forest between you and the lake.
I'll point it out to everyone. So up ahead there seems to be some arable land.
Probably a good
Okay,
place to start then.
let's go ahead.
Ace, we'll try and get to the tree as well, okay?
Try and not piss off any of these giant creatures on the way.
Yeah,
I suppose we'll just have to hope that life finds a way.
Oh, good lord.
Okay.
Richard, that was me saying I want inspiration, please.
This was a plea.
You don't get it if you have to ask.
Yeah.
See,
I never get it anyway.
I was
so-
about to.
And
No,
then
but
you asked.
it's not a difficult descent down from the cave that you've entered into the garden. There does seem to be a heavily walked path down from there, taking you straight to the grassy plain. But as you get to the grassy plain, again, it is strange. You've walked through fields previously that were dominated by long grass. This, though, as you get to it, these grass blades, they don't seem to be the same as those on the surface. This isn't long grass. This is normal grass. It's just a lot bigger than usual.
Holy shit, we're borrowers.
No, I'm an ant. Look.
As Sepsis steps into it, the most of the grass is taller than them.
Honey, I shrunk the sepsis.
Finally, everything is normal size. You're all so little.
Not anymore.
From this angle now, the lake is completely invisible. As you've descended, it's blocked off by the dense forest ahead, and you can no longer see the cultivated fields that Sepsis pointed out.
Can I keep a close eye out for aggressive-looking predators, please?
Okay. As you go then, 5 steps out in front. Benkin is just in awe as he kind of steps behind 5's softly, just kind of staring around, eyes wide, but a massive smile on his face. I've heard tales of places like this touched by the Feywild or even the Feywild itself, but I never thought in my lifetime to see one.
What? A hidden oasis?
A paradise, untouched by, well, relatively untouched, I suppose, by us.
Well, there are...
Do you have any idea what those creatures are over there? The ones that were in the huge ones. They did not look like dragons, but
I've never seen anything here before.
Will Ace have had knowledge on them?
I was gonna say, have I any idea what they are?
you could roll. Anyone who wants to control a nature check.
Nature or religion?
Nature.
Which do you want from me? Okay.
Yeah, I changed dice because that one sucks, and I got a 19.
Okay.
Yeah, you changed dice last game when we were in the Drow City. You changed them to a
Yeah, I only got a 9 on that.
Dice. With your learning, or with your education, it was mainly in the physical world, what was real, what could be fixed, what could be changed, manipulated by your own hands and tools. That's what you normally remember. However, you were, as a child, enchanted by giant things, huge things that could not be explained, but potentially some of which did not exist in the world anymore. There were some completely inexplicable skeletons that you remember reading about that were lizard-like in their construction, like dragons, but not dragons either. They were not possibly kin, but not the same. But these had been fossilized, found in the side of mountains, on beaches, in digs and quarries. Unfortunately, there wasn't many museums in Nidum, so a lot of these had been lost to time. But you do remember there were even a few buildings in Nidum that had maybe a jaw or an eye socket fossilized just in one of the bricks of their construction. The things of this size, you've heard about them, but as far as you were aware, they had passed away millions of years ago.
And they are called?
From the books,
Pterodactyl.
it was a.
Tyrannosaurus.
They had like an overall name. In many
Dinosaur.
different tongues. In common, you would have called them terrible lizard.
Terrible lizards.
It's dinosaur.
There's also Latin,
Many.
and none of you took that as a language, so do well.
Terrible lizards. You know, I believe these were called dinosaurs.
Okay.
I enjoy making them go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. They were dinosaurs. You don't know. You wouldn't know the individual names of the two like different species of long necks you've seen. You wouldn't. You wouldn't know the name of the flying ones. You just collectively know them as dinosaurs.
I'm going to name the flying one a pterodactyl, but starts with the letter P.
That's not how you spell things, Oriana. That's daft.
Also, if you're going to call it a pterodactyl, wouldn't that be Terror?
Oh no, it's we're gonna spell it differently just to mess with people.
A pterodactyl.
Still gonna have terror.
We're gonna go PTE.
The Drow
Arrow.
said we were to be quiet.
Does it end?
I'm whispering.
Does it end DUCKTALE, as in a pterodactyl?
No, it's going DACTYL.
Oh, all I wanted was for people to do the woo.
You just want to.
That's all you wanted.
Okay, Rich,
That's
we're
all I
focusing. We're focusing. We're here.
We're back in the room.
You gave us
No,
dinosaurs. What do you want?
No, fuck this guy. You can't give us dinosaurs and expect us not to play around with it. Fuck you. Absolutely not.
I was under no misapprehension that this wasn't going to happen.
Head to the big tree.
No, head to the arable land.
Oh, the arable land.
Yeah, arable land, then big.
Somebody fucking lead the way when I look at pterodactyls. I'm gonna start naming all the other lizards.
So as you progress, it's maybe the plain in front of you now that you're down, the forest in the distance, maybe half a mile away. Are you just gonna, as quick as you can?
And it's, quietly.
As
This
well
is very, very much looking
Conscious
around.
of our surroundings.
medium
This is very
speed.
much looking around for ingredients.
Okay.
Medium speed, conscious of volume of armor.
Sepsis then, roll me a nature check as you go.
Nature check.
And I want...
Hey, I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Total of 25.
Everyone else, if you're being conscious of your surroundings, please roll me a perception check.
Okay. Can I
I'm gonna
roll
use a different
slightly?
dice. Ooh, I got a nat
Shuffle.
20. Oh,
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's an 18.
It's an
I
18.
got a nat 20 plus a 2.
Oh.
I'm still naming dinosaurs. I rolled 4.
I thought
Too distracted by the terror lizards.
I'm calling that one a Triceratops because it's got 3 horns.
Because it's a
Like to call it a Sarah.
because it's a skill check though, your nat 20 is a 22.
Yes.
So you keep a good eye out. Sepsis first of all then. As you go, Sepsis, as you stare around at effectively the floor, which is the only thing you can see, as the grass, unless you're walking directly behind fives, is just blocking everything else out. As you go, you do notice crawling through the undergrowth, there are insects you have never seen. There are small ground creatures like lizards. You say small, some of these lizards are the size of an iguana, but they should be tiny, like a gecko. And there are many, many species of fauna that you've never seen. The flora is even more impressive. Just below the grass, the colors are insane. There are bright purples, oranges, yellows struck with red. Almost every flower you see as well has a spine and jagged leaves. And as you crouch down next to one that has a particularly large spine, just protruding straight from the face of the flower, you notice that there is some secretion kind of dripping from the end of the spike.
Right.
And as it drips onto the petal, there is no effect. But you can see just below the petal, the ground is blackened and burned, where it seems to be then running off the petal and dropping to the ground below.
I like the sound of that.
Okay.
So,
With your
examining
natural
that-
20 then, I'll give you the rest of your examination of this flower if you're going to concentrate
on,
on it,
please.
that's fine. There is a bulb just below the flower that seems to be pulsing ever so slightly. Every time it does pulse very gently, another small drip comes off the end of the spike. It seems to be where it's storing whatever liquid is inside, is in this bulb. But it is also covered in incredibly fine hairs. And you know from your studies, this tends to be a defense mechanism. If those hairs are touched or affected in any way, there is a possibility that it will, or something will happen. It will defend itself.
Okay. So what do I think about gathering this plant?
Well, you've got basically two options: cut the plant off, or affect it before it spews out whatever poison is inside it, or have it spew out the poison and collect it that way.
Being immune to poison, I guess I'm not that concerned about getting squirted with poison from a plant. So I think I will choose the latter and try and collect as much of it as I can that way.
Okay. You take a vial then from your alchemy kit, which I
think I'll take more like a beaker, try and get all of it.
Beaker from the alchemy kit, that's fine. And roll me another nature check then.
I already rolled a nat 20, man.
It's not difficult.
11.
Cool. Nope, you passed. DC was 10, it's fine. It is quite clumsy in the way that you go about it. However, getting the beaker just right, in the right kind of position, and then just lightly touching one of the hairs on the bulb does cause the plant to convulse. The bulb flattens itself almost like a bellows, just being crushed, and the poison is springs out of the end of the needle. It almost knocks the beaker out of your hand with the force of the jet of this poison, but you do manage to just hold on so it doesn't splash over your skin. A little bit does kind of leak out and drop and hit like just the hem of the cloak you're wearing and causes it to burn. It doesn't seem to be having the same effect on the glass beaker you have, because it's not an organic material. However, whatever organic material has gone into making your cloak seems to burn away. So it's not just a poison, it also seems to be quite acidic.
Okay.
You have a beaker of flower venom.
Yep.
And I will give you the stats on it later.
Yeah. That's fine.
However, this has taken you about 10 minutes to do effectively, to study. And you didn't tell any of your friends that you were going to stop.
I mean,
Okay.
I was keeping a pretty close eye on everyone, and I probably would have stopped to keep an eye on sepsis.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't stealthing either.
What was
Yeah.
What was your perception check?
Mine?
My perception was 4. I've walked off.
What's their passive
gone.
perception would be my question.
Mine was 18.
Okay. So you do stick around with sepsis, yeah? Noticing that sepsis has stopped. That's fine. Okay.
Just fuck off and leave them there. Bye, sepsis.
Bye.
Well,
I'm really sorry to cut in, guys, but I'm gonna have to go because I can't stay awake.
yeah, you did look really tired.
I am so sorry. I love you guys. I won't drop out of the call for aid. I'll just shutter off my camera so it's easier. But I'm so sorry. I can't.
It's okay.
I
Don't worry.
love you guys.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Have fun.
Love you, wifey.
Night, Charlie.
Someone Jaeger Charlie for me.
Yeah, I'll play Oriana, of course.
Okay.
I have just realised that my laptop is not plugged in. There we go. We're okay. It was about to die.
It's been 2 weeks, guys.
We're here.
Yeah, we've completely forgotten how to play D&D, mate.
So, you've got your beaker full of poison. The party is slightly more spread out. Ace and Dice then.
Yeah.
With your perception checks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dice, what you can see in the distance, the grass starts to move and then stop. And then move again slightly and then stop.
Okay.
And it has not moved any further. Ace.
Coming towards us, yeah?
Yeah.
Ace, you can see the grass move just like Dice can. However, strange because at this distance, you're pretty sure it was a trick of the eye. Like it's just under like a quarter of a mile away. But you're almost certain that you saw an armored squirrel.
Armored squirrel.
A tiny little squirrel, wearing armor, with a spear. And you look back at the tree and it's gone.
It's disappeared. Okay. Going to take that to I'm underground and possibly going a bit mad.
Okay. No, both you and Dice see that there are strange patches of the grass that move and then are still.
Okay, so they're coming towards us still. I'm going to keep a really close eye and move sort of towards that direction to act as a bit of a protective barrier between myself and Sepsis and Ariana.
Okay. And Ace?
Yeah?
What are you doing?
I am going to... Sorry, just having a think. I think I recognize these.
You recognize what? I can't see what it is, I can just see something moving.
They're the messengers. The Rataska? Rataski?
Your brain takes a little bit to catch up, but you do remember the lessons. It is Ratatosk.
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 Messengers from who? What message are they bringing us?
They travel up and down the tree, taking messages back and forth to the different worlds.
Well, are they going to try and bite us? Because if not, I suggest we continue heading forward.
I imagine that they wouldn't, as long as we don't interrupt their journeys.
Okay, Sepsis, don't get in the way of whatever's moving.
Would we agree with that, DM?
When have you known me to interfere with the local fauna?
Flora maybe, but not usually the fauna.
You got that right, Ace, pretty much.
Okay.
Perhaps if it had like drippy fangs.
However, what you saw was sitting in a tree.
Okay.
It was nowhere near the 3 patches of grass that were moving towards you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you think we're okay with these patches of grass?
I would tread lightly.
Cool. Sepsis, maybe stay behind me and Ace.
Yes, message received.
Now, we will continue to proceed cautiously.
As you progress, then, you do come to what looks like a path. The grass has been trodden down, the earth sown slightly with salt to make it a bit easier for people to travel. And outside then of the long grass, it also makes it a lot easier for Sepsis to see. The path does seem to wind easily through the long grass towards the forest. However, as you progress, everyone keeping an eye out, I'd like you to make another perception check.
Oh, it's even better, 20. This dice is much better, we like this.
It's an 18, so it would be 20 in total.
Okay.
It's going to be a 5 for me, dog.
DNA plus 20/20 vision.
I resign. I'd like to take this moment to leave the podcast.
Dice?
Yeah.
You could have inspiration.
No, you never give me inspiration. I don't deserve it. No,
All right.
thank you. I'll take it. Carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say then. All right, I'll take it back and give it a scepter. So, as you progress, Ace and Dice, checking out the 3 patches of grass, Dice, you notice one of the patches breaks away on the left. It starts to make a circle around you. Ace, you notice that the one on the right breaks away, moves around in a circle in the opposite direction. And as it breaks off in the distance, maybe about 60 feet away, and rushes across the path, you can see something brown, scaly, before it disappears again into the grass.
I feel like we're being surrounded.
I feel that might be the case as well.
Maybe one of you big armored people should be behind so that we can't be attacked from the rear, and squishy magic users get murdered.
We won't let you get murdered. I'm going to put my helmet up properly so it fully covers my head, and I'm going to move to the side where, like, opposite Ace, so we're almost flanking Oriana and Sepsis.
Okay.
Towards where the creature moved towards. Yeah?
Towards where the creature moved towards. Okay.
I ain't good. You shut your face.
Okay.
I'm going to sort of call out and just say, we are not a threat to you. Show yourself.
Okay. As you shout then, and start to circle around each other, Ace, your sword starts to buzz excitedly in your hand.
Lovely.
So, there is no surprise round. However, a moment, AD, before you swap over, I'll be right back.
Oh, he's gone. Hey, combat! We haven't had combat for like 3 weeks.
Yay!
I am so excited.
I'm going to be busy. I haven't played Oriana for a while. I have no idea what spell she has.
I could play Ace, but I've never played Oriana.
Yeah.
Did Charlie have to dip out?
Charlie was too tired.
Yeah.
Okay.
She came over very tired during the break, and then she gave it a go afterwards. But Jesus Christ, this dog! Every time the rats fucking move, I swear to God.
He loves them.
No, it's an emergency. Every time the rat moves, it's an emergency. And just like,
Greg, it's only since the rats have slowly whittled down that Kiba no longer pays. My rats are quite old. Actually younger than Greg and Charlie's, but they just live less long.
To be fair, I found that was the case with girl rats when I had them.
It's an emergency.
no, that they live less long.
Yeah, that they don't live as long. In my experience, it was the case anyway.
Okay, so unfortunately, I don't have Deinonychus. I don't have Deinonychus miniatures. Donations welcome. So, because they're large creatures, I'm going to use dials instead. AD, if you could take us, you're taking us to the battle map.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
So
I would like everyone.
So excuse my fingers because I'm using a touchscreen now.
That's okay.
I'm also
Everyone
going to pin the
please.
map.
To roll
I
initiative.
can't.
Roll initiative. Right, sorry. Initiative. Come on, don't screw me over. Yes, 21.
I got 12.
Never once had a good initiative. Ever.
Not in my life.
21. Okay.
I also got 21.
And for Oriana?
Yeah, good question. It's a fair question, is what that is. Like that's a reasonable thing for you to ask me. Less. That is a 6.
6.
Less than me, even.
Oh no, sorry, it was a 16. I didn't see the 1.
This goes well.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So, Dice, you see then, finally poking their heads up, slavering with rage, teeth bared, 3 huge, maybe 6 feet tall, almost from head to tail, about 8 feet long, large lizard creatures, bipedal, strong, actually muscular arms, just kind of hanging there, just below their body, with claws at the end. But the largest claws you can see on them are the claws of their feet, the middle one raised and curled. And they start to rush straight towards the group out of the grass. What you gonna do?
Who goes first?
You do.
Oh, I do. I'm sorry.
That's why I said dice.
You.
I don't know. I was like waiting for something. I am going to slam my two fists together so both light up with purple crackling lightning,
Okay.
which makes me super happy. Sorry, that's not relevant to anyone else, is it? I'm going to first take my bonus action, and I am going to activate my defensive field.
Okay. Please explain for the benefit of people watching what the defensive field does.
Defensive field is a bonus action I can take to give myself 8 temporary hit points, and I can refresh it each turn as a bonus action and replace those hit points. So it basically gives me 8 points more in combat. Then I'm going to step. I'm sort of in front. I don't really want to move away from in front of Sepsis. Okay. What I'm going to do is I am going to prepare an action.
Okay.
Attack when any of the Deinonychuses get within range of me.
Okay, cool. What is the action you're going to prepare?
I'm going to prepare an attack, I said that, with my Thunder Gauntlets.
So you're an attack with your gauntlets, yeah?
Yeah, would I only get, because it's 2 attacks per action, so am I preparing 1 attack, or do I prepare...
No, you're holding your full action, so you'd still get your 2 attacks. That's fine.
I've literally never really done this, have I?
Or held an attack, no.
I'm going to hold 2 melee attacks with my Thunder Gauntlets.
Awesome, okay. Next in line then, Sepsis, what are you going to do?
I am going to... Let's see, spells. Sorry, I have been slightly distracted by my dog being an asshole.
That's okay.
As he wanders over to the cage yet again. Sorry, I've got a slight issue. I haven't clicked rest at any point, so according to this, I still have very few spell slots. But given that we haven't done anything, I think those aren't actually used. I'm going to I'm going to step up behind Dice and cast Enlarge on them.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I am down for this.
Gonna be large.
So Dice, your size doubles in all dimensions and your weight is multiplied by 8. This growth increases your size to large. Until the spell ends, you have advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Your weapons grow to match your new size. While these weapons are enlarged, the target's attacks with them deal 1d4 extra damage.
That's the important bit. Okay.
And
I'm absolutely painting that bear silver, so it looks like you and Guardian.
I'm down.
Okay, cool. So you are enlarged.
And then I'm going to take 2 steps back. So
Okay.
I'm just 1 back from... Oh yeah, we didn't notice anything wrap around behind us, did we? It was just these 3 going...
It was just the 3 that you saw.
Yeah, okay, then I'm going to take 2 steps back. So I'm just 1 back from Oriana, but also 1 to her right. That makes sense? Nope.
No? 1
Well,
further.
unless... I don't know, because he's put Oriana in between 2 squares, so I don't know where she actually is.
No, Oriana is she's in a square.
No, she's not.
I mean, she pretty clearly isn't, though, we can see.
Oh, but no,
Yes.
either one.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I want it to be 1 back and 1 behind and 1 to her right, is what I said, but whatever. It's fine, don't worry.
Well, you're there now. Okay, so it is Oriana's go.
I didn't say I was.
Oriana got a 6.
Oh, sorry. No, what was your go section? Was that the end of your turn?
Well, I didn't say so. I'll drop a hex on the wolf to our left, the Deinonychus to our left, while I'm at it.
Okay.
Please.
I'm big.
So
Oh no, I won't, because I can't do that, because
Oh.
that's a spell. I can't cast 2 spells. You can't hear me.
No, he's done it. Just
Right,
leave
I can't.
it for next time.
Briar can't do that hex. I forgot about spells.
You're gonna have to stand up again, my dude.
You're going to undo the hex.
I can't do the hex because
Okay.
it's 2 spells in the same turn. So I was just wrong. I'm not doing the hex.
Ways to anger the DM, make him get up so many times.
That includes sepsis as well.
That's fine. As a DM, I should have. Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm just going to use 2 sorcery points and quicken an Eldritch Blast.
Cool. Which one?
Let's say the one directly in front, please.
Cool. Go for it. Roll to attack.
I will.
Wait,
How many beams do you have now?
2. Unless we've leveled.
No.
That is an absolutely atrocious roll, is what that is. I rolled a 12 and an 11.
Unfortunately, both of those, while getting quite close, the Deinonychus very deftly kind of dips and weaves out of the way of both of them.
What a waste of sorcery points.
Oriana.
No, Ariana's got to be after Ace. Ariana's initiative was like 6.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
You said
16. 16. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Ariana will. What's this? That's too small. I think Ariana's going to open up proceedings with a good old-fashioned scorching ray.
Okay. Which one?
The one directly in front, please.
Excellent. Okay. So Scorching Ray, Dex save?
Nope. It's a ranged spell attack.
Okay.
One for each of the 3 rays.
Oh, sorry. Yes. I was thinking Agnes as Scorcher.
Yes, you were. So that is going to be... what's the spell? Attack is +8. So that is a 25, a 23, and a 14.
Okay, yeah. All 3 of those hit.
Excellent.
Roll for damage, please.
I
You roll
will.
better for Ariana than you do for yourself, then.
That's because I'm selfless.
The rules.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like this sense of responsibility when I'm running someone else's character to do better than I will for myself. Nice. 9, 10, 11, 14, and 16 fire damage to that there motherfucker.
16 fire damage, yeah?
Yes, and Oriana becomes wreathed in flame.
Yes, she does. Okay. So all 3 rays hit true. The Deinonychus screams, and it is a terrifying, horrific, lizard-like scream of pain. It was very much like the scream Stepsis unleashed in the tunnel under the 7 when he got hit by that.
Yeah. So you're saying that they are mortally wounded, is what you're saying?
Yeah, mortally wounded when Sepsis got hit by the thing. They are looking hurt.
Okay. Oriana will also fly 15 feet directly up.
Oh, okay.
Is that a spell? Should that be a World Magic Surge, Greg?
I mean, you don't. Only if Briar remembers.
He's actively not listening right now. You're okay.
Yeah, it's only one of those. If
It's
he tells
good
me.
timing on your part, but
No, it was excellent timing on my part. Come on now. It's funny when you
yeah.
Okay, end of Oriana's go.
That's the end of Oriana's go. Yes.
I honestly thought I was going to sit down. You're going to say, actually, she didn't want to fly 15 feet up. She's just going to say that. So
I did I made one mistake.
So it is now at least one of the Deinonychus goes.
And you missed it.
So Deinonychus. Would you rush forward?
Oh, come at me. That was definitely within range before it moved sideways. Was that within melee range of me before it moved sideways?
No.
You missed the wild magic surge, by the way, Rich. Just moving on. We even told you about it in the chat just to see if you'd spot it, and you didn't.
Yep.
What chat?
Twitch chat, mate.
I'm running a D&D game. Yes.
I'm minding an unruly dog, but
okay, so it rushes forward and it makes 3 strikes against 5s. Okay. Hit. It moves at least 20 feet. It's got a ability. Natural 20. Okay, so I need a strength saving throw from. No, that's a fail.
Hang on. How much did it fail by? How much did it fail by?
Oh, how much did 5s fail by?
Yeah.
The 5s failed by 8.
No, I can't help with that. Okay.
Okay. So 5s is knocked prone.
Aww.
And it is going to. There we go. So. 2 bite attacks. Okay. 2 bite attacks. That's 8, 6, and a full attack. It's going to be 9, 11. So 5s takes 17 points of damage from the Deinonychus. Okay. And it is now Ace's go.
Yeah. Ace is going to do one of those smitey smites of the searing variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will need a Constitution saving throw once I have rolled.
Yeah, you're going to hit it first.
Yeah.
So which one?
Here they are. So the one that's nearest to me.
Okay. The one next to 5s or the one that's slightly further away?
I'd say the one next to 5s.
Okay. Cool. You're going to rush up.
Mm-hmm.
The one next to 5s. Giving yourself advantage, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay.
That I am.
Cool.
So that was a 19 on the first roll and nat 20 on the 19 with the +6 on the first roll, and then so it's 26 on this roll, but nat 20.
So yeah, nat 20 is fine. Yeah, definitely hits. And you said it was a saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Yeah.
Con saving throw, it's a 19.
Ooh, they saved, so it'll only be half of
damage.
the searing, but it'll be full damage for the regular damage, though, won't it? Or am I wrong?
It's well, half of the searing smite, but full for the sword.
For the sword, yeah, cool. So the sword damage it takes is 4, 3, so it'll be 7 damage on that.
Remember to double dice.
What for my
So nat
sword?
20. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's 7 to start, and then 8 added to that for the regular. What am I doing? That was 7. So 7 and 8 were what I got on the searing smite,
Okay.
and then 7 3, so 10 and 8 is what I get on the regular knife damage.
So as you strike down into it, then, as it's there trying to bite through and claw at Fiennes' armor, you immediately rush forward, and just as it rears back, your searing smite, glowing with almost electrical crackling energy running up your blade, completely severs the Deinonychus's head from its shoulders, and it sails off into the distance.
Not bad for a first level.
Okay. What would you like to do next?
Well, I've got another attack, haven't I?
You do.
Yeah. So have I got much movement left?
You've got about, from where you move, you've only got about 10 feet of movement left. I do not think you're going to get to... No, you're not going to get to it on this round.
Okay, can I...
You can move towards it.
I was going to say, can I move towards him and then prepare an attack?
Yeah, do you want to?
Yep.
Well, no, you can't prepare an attack. It would just be your next turn. You can...
Okay,
attack.
yeah, I'll just move to face him.
Move towards him.
Yeah.
Okay. Go. Need to get me some wireless headphones.
I gave you some, they just didn't work.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That's on your Christmas list now.
Or my shares at the end of the month list. Okay, it is the next Deinonychus' turn. So, being the largest target,
Heck yeah.
rush forward towards Dice, who I believe, before the Deinonychus takes its turn, has an action prepared.
I do. I'm going to try and hit it twice with my Thunder Gauntlets.
Okay, cool. Go for it.
First attack is going to be... Let's cock. Hang on. Okay. A 22 hit.
20 to hit. Yeah, definitely hits.
So the first one is going to be... I need to add a d4 because I'm engorged. No, enlarged. Not engorged. 14 damage for the first hit.
14 damage for the first hit, okay.
Yeah. It was a good roll. Natural 20 on the next one. So 27 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, definitely hits. Roll for damage.
When I double the dice, I double the d4 too, right?
You double all the dice.
Lovely. Okay. That's going to be 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage on the second hit.
18 damage on the second hit. Okay. With the sound of a thunderclap as each of your blows lands, and the crackling of electrical energy as it pulses through the body of the Deinonychus, it is struck rigid. Even as it was about to open its mouth to try and bite you, it freezes up completely, and you see the light die in its eyes, and it, completely paralyzed, slides over sideways into the earth.
Effective. That hit harder than I expected.
Okay. There we go. Cool. And Fives gets his go. Fives is going to turn, unsling the long metal tube from his shoulder, and raise it in his arms, pointing it towards the one that Ace is currently now running towards, and is going to fire a shot off.
That sounded dirty too.
It's a natural 20.
This is the most fight ever.
There is a very loud, almighty bang, and a flash from the end of the tube that is pointing towards the Deinonychus, and you see, almost imperceptible, just a small black ball fly straight towards the Deinonychus, and it does. Ooh. That's 16. There. It does 21 points of damage to the Deinonychus. And with his second attack, or second attack action, he then puts up the metal tube and starts to reload it. Okay. It is now the Deinonychus' turn. The Deinonychus is going to scream. It's a piercing shriek. It barks then, and the bark just seems to ring out all around you, bouncing off the strange shape of the world you currently inhabit. Turns tail and runs as fast as it can.
Retreat.
Which is quite fast.
It does a zoom.
Yeah. It's gone, AD, if you can.
I mean, how fast is it? Does it get...
It travels 100 feet.
Excellent. Was it within 20 feet of me when it started?
It was not.
Damn it. Oh, wait, no, I can move. I'm still going to Eldritch Blast it.
Okay. Okay. At the end of your range, then, you move until it's in range. Eldritch Blast. Roll for attack.
That's slightly better. I got a 14, 26.
They both hit. Roll for damage.
I will.
I was going to shoot it with my crossbow, but you beat me. I still have the crossbow.
That's cocked. I got 13 damage, 23 damage in total.
23 damage. The force of the blast as they hit from both sides, and even at this distance, you can see almost crumble its chest cavity in on itself like a concertina effect, and it just collapses. It's
gravy time.
Into the grass out of sight. At the speed it was running, it just slides completely out of sight from it.
Stupid girl.
Wait, me or the dinosaur? I'm confused.
The dinosaur.
Oh.
Because it attacked
It's
us.
a reference to
Wasn't
Clever
very
Girl.
smart.
Yeah.
Rich.
I saw where you were going with that, Craig.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I
That's
thought
all.
where he was going. I just decided to play it as nice. When the dinosaur cried out, did it sound like it was calling for help? Like, did it sound like...
You trying to insight check a dinosaur?
Basically, yeah.
I
I just want to know if it sounded like, or if I can see if any more would be coming, or...
roll me a nature check.
They're clearly pack animals, so... 15?
What was that?
15.
15.
50! No.
There have been situations in which you've seen pack animals interact, and just like the howl of a wolf, you can imagine that the shriek followed by the barks could have been a call, potentially, or a warning of danger, or...
Would you say that they're hungry like the wolf?
Hungry like a wolf. Can I do one more thing then, quickly? The two we managed to kill close by, because I'm not going to wander off. I'd like to attempt to remove and take the sharp claws from the center of their lower limbs. I'm going to take up selling archaeological finds.
Okay.
Very archaeological.
Roll me a medicine check then on the first one.
Okay. I used to, in a former life, I used to dissect animals all the time.
Yeah, this is a small reference back to our previous campaign where 13.
Okay. It's a botch job. but you do get the claw. Effectively, you rip it off. So it's quite bloody. The end of it's quite broken. It's not the best specimen you could have gotten, but
Hey,
you got
it's
it.
a recent specimen of a dinosaur claw. I don't think it matters.
A bunch of little three-eyed green dudes
But
waddle
you
out
get-
of the foliage
Yeah,
going, "A claw!"
You get both of them off the one dinosaur. Do you want to try the other one?
Yeah.
Roll me another medicine check, please.
Okay. This time is 17.
Okay. This time, with some of your smith tools, there is a sharp tool in there somewhere. You do manage to find your way under the joint, and instead of ripping, you get quite a good specimen from it. All in all, though, this has taken you around about 20 minutes
Okay.
for both of these. The warmth of the artificial sun hovering in the space above you is causing the dinosaurs to smell ripe. I would like everyone to make a perception check, please.
Okay, I may have made things worse. I'm sorry. 18.
It wasn't very good at all. That was a 7.
Okay.
Solid effort.
Sepsis?
Yeah, I mean, I got very little. I got a 9, but I've lost the D20 I was using for. Oh, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Right. That was-
9 and not very good.
Okay.
What's
okay.
that?
As you are then closer to the ground, Dice,
Yeah.
with one of your hands touching the earth, you feel a rumble, like a thud,
Okay.
and then another,
Oh no.
and then another.
We don't have a jeep to protect
The
us.
thud starts to get stronger.
Sepsis has poured themselves a glass of water.
The ground beneath your feet starts to shake, and now everyone can feel it.
Hey, guys, I may have taken too long. I didn't think it would smell this fast.
Hey guys, look, my water's got weird ripples in it.
Suddenly,
Yep.
bursting out of a nearby brush, rushing towards you, is a very similar shape to the Deinonychus, but about 10 times as big.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, guys.
I'd
We're
like
gonna roll for initiative.
I would like everyone to roll initiative again. And
Using
give
counters,
me
though.
a second.
Sorry, AD. Sorry, Rich. Sorry, guys. I don't really regret it. I quite enjoyed fighting dinosaurs.
Fine.
You're not sad about this. Okay.
How long does enlarge last, Sepsis?
It's over.
Cool.
Oh no.
That's okay. It's okay. Ah, normal me.
I mean, I have more spell slots.
Yeah, but we might come across worse things than a jet. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I think T-Rex is pretty much what we're getting for right now.
Imagine a day where we have to
Can't get a
conserve our
good
spell
angle
slots.
at all with this iPad.
Sorry.
I said, imagine a day where we have to conserve our spell slots. That would be mad. But we haven't had one of those for.
It's not as
A
comfortable
campaign?
as pain.
Yeah. Again, sorry, I don't have a T-Rex miniature.
So, got
So, haven't seen this guy in a while, have you guys?
no.
No,
That's
indeed we
He
don't.
was the first boy that we fought in our last campaign that my foolish character decided would be a really good idea to intimidate it and lie.
That was wonderful. I very much enjoyed when you tried that.
Bart did try to lie to
Okay.
a very intelligent dragon. Wasn't a smart move.
What was your initiative?
I got 7.
7.
Yeah.
Sepsis?
Oh, Sepsis got 15.
Oriana?
7.
Ooh,
Nice.
matches.
I got 22. I got my second nat 20 today.
Nice.
His best friend.
Okay. And Ooh. Okay. Okay, so Dice, you go first.
Okay. I'm a little bit scared. First things first, I'm going to take the bonus action again to activate my defensive field.
Okay.
So I've got the 8 temporary hit points.
Okay.
I'm going to smash my gauntlets together and make the purple fire reappear.
Excellent.
And then I am going to... this seems like a really bad idea, and I'm going to get hurt a lot. I'm going to run up and punch the T-Rex.
Yeah, you are.
I'm going to run up and punch the T-Rex twice.
Okay, cool. So, heading off the T-Rex's advance then, you run up
Yeah.
and decide to punch the T-Rex twice in its face.
Yeah.
Or in whatever part of the T-Rex you can get to.
Yeah.
Okay, roll for attack, please, Dice.
Whatever 15 plus 7 is, I'm having a moment. 23.
Okay, 23 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
It's real good. I rolled a 6 for damage.
Okay. And roll for attack again.
Okay. I'll tell you the other effect that has in a second.
Okay.
That's going to be a 22 hit. I rolled a 13.
Definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Yeah, that's going to be this time better. It's going to be 11 damage.
Excellent. So what effect do the fists have?
The effect the fists have is that the creature hit by it has disadvantage on attack rolls against any target other than me until the end of my next turn.
No problem. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So the T-Rex is going to go next.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. So it is going to make, first of all, then a bite attack against you. Okay.
Come on then.
That is going to be it's going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, obviously that hits.
Okay. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. I might actually have to roll this on D&D Beyond. I'll use D&D Beyond.
Oh my god, that's a lot of damage then.
D&D Beyond, wonderful dice rolling app. Get it now, and well, actually, I think the thing is over, but I'm now going to watch healing potions roll across my screen. Okay. Okay. I'm going to need you to roll me. Actually, no, that's fine. So you take 38 points of damage.
Holy shit. Okay.
You are also
Yeah.
almost completely engulfed by the T-Rex's mouth. So until you can use your action to break free, you are grappled.
Are you telling us that Dice wants to break free?
Dice doesn't want to break free.
Break free.
So you are grappled.
Okay. It's fine.
It then, with you grappled, moves forward.
I'm weirdly unoffended by this. I like dinosaurs.
I want to be eaten by one still.
Yeah. What a way to go, though, right?
Mm.
And swings around to make a tail attack against fives. So that's going to be that's a natural 20.
Oh shit.
So tail attack against fives.
Say goodbye to your robot mate.
Tail attack, not a bite attack. It'd be alright.
Okay, so that's 14 on the dice. So that's going to be 28 points of damage plus 7. That is going to be 35 points of damage to fives.
Nice. Jesus Christ.
That one didn't tickle.
That's what you did to me. Thank God for my temporary hit points.
Fives is looking hurt, by the way. Okay, so that's the end of the T-Rex's go. Sepsis, what would you like to do?
Hello, I would like to hex it first and foremost.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm such an idiot. I should
Hex it to heck.
have done.
So yeah, bonus action hex, and I will give him disadvantage on. This is going to surprise you. Strength checks.
Cool. Okay.
So that's move one, and then the second thing I will Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Yes.
Go for it.
Thank you. I will. That one didn't go in the dice thing. Okay, I got a 16 and a 23.
Both of which hit.
Excellent. Okay, so Eldritch Blast damage. It's not great. So that is 5 and 7, 12. Plus hex damage. That's 20 damage in all.
20 damage in total.
Sorry?
20 damage in total, yeah.
Yeah, 20 damage in total, 8 of which is necrotic.
Necrotic, cool. Okay. Is that the end of your go?
That is the end of my go.
Ace, what would you like to do?
Ace is going to attempt command first of all on the dinosaur.
Okay. Can you read out command for me?
I shall try. I'm on the app. You speak one word command to a creature you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command on its next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Spell has no effect if the target is undead, if it doesn't understand your language, or if your command is directly harmful to it. So would it work with a dinosaur?
You can try it and see.
I still have another way to attack it.
So you're gonna...
another chance to attack it in this round anyway, so that's fine.
Okay. Well, no.
No?
You
Do I not
commanded...
get to...
No, you commanded it to stop, yeah?
I was going to.
Okay. Basically, because
If I can do two... if I can do 2 attacks in the roll, including command.
Your action is
Yeah.
either to do 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
You can sometimes put a spell on one of those attacks. That's fine.
But I can't
like
do
a smite. But you can't
command
use...
and then something else.
No, because command would be your action.
Okay. Well,
So
knowing
that's
that,
instead
then
of your 2
I
attacks.
wouldn't
Okay.
be doing that. In that case, then it will be a searing smite again.
Searing smite.
Yeah, we'll go
Go
with
for
that first level again.
Char-grilled dinosaur.
Hmm?
Char-grilled dinosaur.
Roll the hit. Give me a second. So you're going to rush up behind it with advantage.
Yeah. So that is 16 plus 6, so it would be 22.
That definitely hits. Roll for
Yeah.
damage.
Cool. Right, so we have the regular damage, which would be 6 plus 3, so 9 damage on that, and then the searing damage, which would be 4. So 9 regular damage, 4 searing. You're muted, I can't hear you.
No problem. That's fine. What's your next and your next attack, which is just a normal attack?
I'll go back again with the sword and do like a back swing. Let's see if I hit with that. It's 17.
17 hits. Roll for damage.
Yeah. And that is 9. No, it's 6 damage. Yeah.
6 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
Coolio. And is that the end of your go?
Yes.
Okay. Oriana.
First thing, how's this guy looking? I'm guessing not too badly hurt after that one round.
No, not really, no.
Can I retcon and say that I moved back on Sepsis' turn, or is it too late to do that?
We'd say it was too late to do that, but no, it's fine. You move further away from the dinosaur, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Sepsis will probably move their full speed back, so...
Straight back away from it?
You don't have to do it now, because I'm going to move Oriana as well. Oriana is going to... obviously, she would have landed, so she's currently sitting on the thing, but she would be on the ground. So she's going to use her full flight speed to go directly up.
Okay.
Not quite her full speed, actually. She'll go 25 feet up.
Okay.
And she's going to drop a 4th level Scorching Ray on this motherfucker here.
Cool.
So that is 5 rays of Scorching Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we do. That is 26, a 17, an 18, a 25, and a 10.
And all apart from the last one hit.
Yeah, I figured the last one might not. So that's 4 hits.
Okay.
So 2, 4, 6, 8d6. Oh god, that's a lot of ones. 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17 damage. It's not very much fire damage.
Okay.
She's wreathed in flame.
Mm-hmm.
And she will also use her bonus action to do a little dice-themed chant and give bardic inspiration to dice.
Reg, just one thing. I'm so sorry. The dinosaur actually had disadvantage on its attack against 5, so it likely wouldn't have been a natural 20. Gauntlet, sorry, it's a new thing, isn't it?
Oh, no, I rolled 2 natural 20s.
You rolled 2 natural 20s.
On a disadvantage.
Damn.
No, genuine. I was rolling 2 dice because I knew I had
So
disadvantage.
we're just mad about it.
That's a goddamn lie. You would have told us if you'd rolled 2 natural 20s. You would have made a big fuss about it. Run back the tape, guys.
No, seriously.
Bullshit.
No,
Absolutely not. I don't buy it.
Come on, he's never lied to us before.
That we know of. He rolls those dice behind a screen.
DM's prerogative. Also, is there a wild magic search there or anything?
I was about to say, wild magic search,
Knock.
please. Oh no, I've already asked the chat if I should roll a wild magic search. It's in the.
Yeah. It was a 3.
A 3. Oh, lucky.
Ooh.
Yep.
Almost. Okay. So Oriana is now 25 feet up.
Yep.
Sepsis is as far back as they can go.
Yeah, which is 35 feet. Actually, it would only go 30 feet. No, I would. There's not. This fucking T-Rex doesn't know any spells. Why would I want to keep counting spells?
Okay. Rihanna is, in fact, off camera. Excellent. Okay. So, Fives gets his go. And he's going to make an attack. And that's a misfire. Okay. So, instead of trying to unjam his rifle, Fives is going to drop it, and you see...
like it's hot?
Yeah, pretty much. But you see, as he drops the rifle, 2 swords appear out of his arms in the space of his hands. And he is going to attempt to swing the first one. That is going to be a 17, so it's a hit. I'm going to attempt to swing the second one. That is a 23, so that definitely hits. But it's only the bonus action, so that's fine. So... It's going to be 11, 12 damage in total. You'll be happy to know the T-Rex is actually starting to look hurt.
I am happy.
I'm very happy.
And this is when Benkin is actually going to do something.
I'm mostly happy because my dog's gone to sleep.
So... Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Sorry, I'm just waiting for his thing to load up. There we go. Benkin is going to rush forward.
Mhm.
2 attacks. With his sun sword. It flares to life with green eldritch energy. There we go. It's gonna be natural 20. And a dirty 20. So... Okay, so the first hit is going to be a 8 plus 9. There we go, so 17. The second hit is just a 2, so 19 damage in total. To try and help his friend, who's currently in the T-Rex's mouth, he's going to use his action surge. And he's going to do that again.
I would like to imagine at this point, just so you know, is that Dice's feet are wiggling.
Hit.
That's his mouth going,
That's another hit. So... that time, oh Jesus Christ, he's rolling crap damage. That is going to be, there we go. Okay, it's another 12 damage. There we go. The T-Rex is starting to look fucked up.
good. I'm in it.
Dice, it's your go.
Oh, good. I'm in it.
You couldn't possibly be in a better position to get out. You have bardic inspiration and it has disadvantage on strength checks.
Dice, you've got, remember, you are taking off your temporary hit points first, yeah?
Yeah, I've done that.
Cool, so you get them back at the beginning of this round.
I do. You're right.
It's a lovely bonus action for that armor.
It is, and I appreciate it enormously. I've got things have all gone horribly wrong. I'm trying to decide whether to get out of the T-Rex's mouth or just punch it from inside its mouth.
Well, you are currently restrained, so attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage.
Disadvantage isn't great.
But your full action would be to break out of its mouth.
I know, and that would be quite disappointing, wouldn't it?
I would say, though, that it was a straight roll, because it's currently surrounded by your colleagues. Yeah.
It's quite distracted. And you
They'll negate the disadvantage.
it looks fucked up.
It's starting to look... sorry, I apologise. It's not fucked up. It's starting to look messed up.
Oh, that changes things. I'm going to try and escape its mouth.
Okay.
If it was fucked up and it was on its last legs, obviously I'm going to punch it inside its mouth. But
Okay, go for it.
what am I rolling? I've never done.
Roll me an athletics check, please.
Oh well, I may as well be punching it from inside its mouth, Reg. To be honest.
You have bardic inspiration.
What does that mean?
It means you can add a
What's Oriana's? A D8 now.
D8, D6. You can add
D6
a
on top of your
D6
score.
to the roll.
Weirdly, I never. Oh well, that's not really better.
You've also got inspiration, remember.
I'll try the inspiration because that's not enough. Okay, that's good. That's good. 19.
19.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, the DC was 17. So you do force your heavily armored arms apart now with the added strength from the magical guardian armor, and you fall out of the Tyrannosaur's mouth. Make me a quick acrobatics check.
Again, you're talking to the wrong person. Oh, actually, I've got +2 to acrobatics. Oh, well, that's a solid 3 there, Richard.
And you land prone on the floor in front of the T-Rex.
Frankly, that seems fair.
Would you like to use your movement to try and get up, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
So you use half your movement to get up. You've got 15 feet left. What do you want to do? You can't attack it.
I'm just going to stand up and look angry.
Unless you have a bonus action.
I did, but I used it to...
No, you get that automatically. You use your bonus action at the first round.
No, I don't think you're right. You gain a bonus action that you can use on each of your turns to gain 8 temporary hit points.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you haven't got a bonus action. You're just going to stand there and look angry.
Yeah, I am pissed.
Cool, okay.
It ate me. What a twat.
Okay. Right, so it's the T-Rex's go again.
Come at me, motherfucker.
And he's going to.
You chew.
I know.
Hey, that is going to be a 24 to hit.
Obviously that hits, yes. This thing's going to kill me while I stand here and look pissed off at it.
No.
1, 2, 3,
Fine.
4.
I don't have a backup character, but I can make a good one. It'll be okay.
You can have one of mine.
You do have lots.
That is going to be... Give me a moment. This decides it wants to work. The internet's just very slow here tonight.
My hands are sweating.
There we go.
Knees weak, arms are heavy.
Okay, you take 25 points of damage.
I am still up.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
He's got more attacks.
Fine.
However, a T-Rex, because he's so long, can make a tail attack, but it specifically says that he cannot attack the same target.
Yeah.
As he was attacking with his front. That is going to be a tail swipe in the other direction. And it's going to strike at Ace. And that's going to be a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
So you take... You take 17 points of damage.
That's much better.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny enough. It's gone back to the exact amount of HP I had before I realised I had to do a long rest earlier.
Sepsis is your go.
Sepsis is go.
Yeah.
He's a gore.
Probably cast some sort of spell, I guess.
Do some magic.
Yeah, like that sort of magic-y thing that I do sometimes.
Magic, you know.
Tempting. It's so tempting. I'm going to do it. I'm going to cast Reduce on the T-Rex.
The T-Rex.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope this isn't the only T-Rex in here. I'd be gutted to make it extinct.
You can make a Constitution saving throw if you want.
Cool.
It's gonna.
That's going to be an 11.
That's a fail.
Mm-hmm.
It is reduced in size, halved in all dimensions. Its weight reduces to 1/8 of normal. It reduces by 1 size category. It has a disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. Its weapon attacks deal 1d4 less damage. Can't reduce the amount below 1.
Okay.
Um,
So First thing that happens then, you get... Now it looks even more like a diamond, I guess, than when it originally appeared.
Yeah, almost exactly like one, I suppose.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a lot smaller. Do you want to do anything else?
Yeah, I'll use my bonus action to do a maddening hex and
Maddening hex.
Yeah, it's a thing I have, which deals 4 psychic damage to it.
Just 4 psychic damage.
Yeah, just flat 4 psychic damage.
It is pissed off.
Just chipping away at it.
It's very small, very confused, and in its confusion has an aneurysm. And takes 4 psychic damage. Okay. Is that the end of your go?
That's the end of my go.
Ace.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
I think I would like to go with another ceiling, but this time at 2nd level.
Okay.
See if I can see it off.
Go for it. Go for attack.
Oh, that wasn't very good. That was a 15.
15 hits, roll for damage.
Oh, okay.
Its AC is 13.
Ah, good. That's what we like to hear. Right, so... Right, the regular damage on that is 4.
Okay.
I will now roll the other damage if I can find another d6. Where's it gone? Okay. And then another 4 damage, so 8 damage in total.
Okay.
So very fearsome.
It's not seen off yet. Do you want to hit it again?
No. Yeah. I'll give it another swipe with my sword.
It's now looking fucked up.
Good. Oh, okay.
Not very fucked up, but fucked up.
That was an 11, so that's not going to hit.
Unfortunately, your second swing misses as it raises its tail and arse out of the way. Oriana.
Oriana will open proceedings with a 3rd level scorching ray.
Okay.
So that's 4 rays. The lowest one is a 15, which I'm guessing doesn't hit, but the other ones are all above 20.
Okay. Yeah. No, 15 hits.
Oh, it does.
13 AC.
Sweet. Okay, well that is 4d6 damage again.
Okay.
8d6 damage. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Need one more d6. Ah, there it is. That's better. Not as many ones. 6, 12, 17, 21, 26, 27, 33, 35 fire damage this time.
What would Oriana like to do then?
Oriana would like to basically send the rays one at a time and blast all the way along its back and up towards its head and send the last scorching ray directly into its eyes, nose and mouth and blast its fucking face off.
And with most of you then looking up at the dinosaur looming above you, getting ready to make its final attacks on you.
Well, not looming so much now.
Yeah. But you do see fire start to rain down from a central point above you, and it runs up the dinosaur's back until eventually you can see one of the rains of fire enter through one of its eyes, and then a burst of fiery explosion just pops out its other 2 eyes. And in a gout of flame coming out of its mouth as well, it does collapse to the ground in front of you.
Quick question, despite that I'm horribly injured, I assume spare the dying would not save this animal at this point.
No, it would not.
Okay. I like animals and I feel bad for the dinosaur.
It will try to kill us.
Yeah,
We'll do a big old eat.
Sebs is claps their hands together and goes, "Right, that's got to be lunch, right? I mean, lunchtime. Not we're going to eat. Not that we're going to
I'm
eat.
not eating that, but I am.
No, I mean
super
it's
bleeding.
time for a lunch break. I think.
I am bleeding from so many places.
I think we should take a rest, and I'll heal you up some.
I suspect. I can use hypnosis. It's okay. But,
Perhaps first things first, we should find a way into the woods for a bit more cover.
Smart. Let's
Good
do
plan.
that first. Good.
I'm down to find some cover.
Okay, Fives, can I lean on you?
I don't think Fights is looking too hot either.
How bad damage does Fives?
Fives has, you can see a lot of the armor plates on his outside are crushed. His chest has been slashed, and you can see a few puncture marks from some teeth. He's not looking great. However, he is still standing strong, and he supports you as you lean on him.
Aw, me and Fives will tromp slowly towards the woods then.
Can Sepsis do any sort of like nature checking to try and find somewhere quickly to rest up?
Well, as you all rush towards the woods, then anyone looking for somewhere or some cover, roll me either a perception or an investigation check, depending on what you would like to find.
I feel the amount of damage I've taken would preclude me from paying much attention.
I rolled a 16.
Okay. 16 on what, Em?
Perception.
Perception.
I rolled a 6 on investigation, so you know, it would be fine.
Em then.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Ace. You do notice, just as you get to the tree line, that there is what appears to be a cave that kind of sinks beneath the roots of a very large, gnarled tree. It looks maybe about just under 5 feet across. Bit of a squeeze, but you should all be able to get in there. A quick glance around as well. It doesn't look like there are many animal tracks coming in or out of it. It just seems to be that the tree has moved in the wind and opened up a cavity below it.
Okay. I will point that out to everybody and start us on that direction.
Okay. As you rush in then, there is quite a large open cavernous space below. It looks worked. There is stone there. And there is a door frame on the opposite wall, maybe about 30 feet away, that has collapsed and been filled in with earth, over time, really.
Do I see any rune work on it?
Make me an investigation check.
It's going to be a fight.
Anything that you could have discerned as possible runes, it's not. It's been worn away by time and the elements. You can't really tell if there's anything there.
Okay.
However, as you search the room, Ace, then you notice, as everyone else is resting, as soon as they can get in, you notice that in the very far end of the room, a strange collection of objects. There is a statue, missing its arms, which have collapsed to the floor and crumbled. And there is a large skull. It's about the size of a barrel. No other bones around it. The skull seems to have been some kind of cyclops creature. It only has one eye socket and a small jaw. And resting in the rubble of at least one of the arms of this creature is a beautiful silver sword.
Ooh. Does that ring any bells for me?
Roll me a history check.
Sorry. 18.
Unfortunately not. Nothing from the... I mean, there were many tales of shining brands, or shining swords in the in the mysteries and the mythologies that you studied as a child, but nothing really stands out as an important silver sword. What does stand out as you're looking, though, is you do not recognize the race the statue is trying to capture. It is a beautifully, incredibly detailed statue, stunning in the care that went into its construction. However, very high cheekbones, long, very sharp ears, fanged mouth open in a scream or a shout. You're not quite sure. Very pointed, upturned eyes, a high forehead, and strangely braided hair in a fashion you've never seen before either. And it seems to be almost like it's embossed in the stone. There seem to be like quite large, not scales, but almost freckles, but they're huge, like the size of a fingertip. There's about 3 on each cheek.
Okay. I'll make a mental note of that, but nothing ringing a bell with it, so we'll keep it at that. Can I investigate the sword to see if it's worth me having?
Yeah, I mean the sword is the arm that was attached to the hand holding it is crushed into rubble as it fell. However, the hand is still. You don't know how they quite did it, but the hand is around the hilt of the sword, and it is grasping it incredibly tightly.
Okay. Any runes or anything on the sword, or anything that I can read off of it, or is it just sort of decorative?
There are, and as you kind of turn it in the low light, they almost flash. However, what languages do you speak?
Oh, that's asking. I'm in the app, so it's hard for me to look.
While Em's looking that up, have I noticed Ace looking at the sword?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, if you can get hold of it, I can identify it for you.
I have Common, Dwarvish, or Gnomish.
What a weird mix.
Hello. I'm the cautious member of the party. You may remember me from such hits as "Don't open that box," or perhaps we shouldn't tell everyone our business all the time. Hey, you see that sword that's super mysterious that we found in a random fucking place in the middle of nowhere? Might be cursed. Could be dangerous. Could be bad.
Yeah, okay. Well, if Ace...
That's what we're trying to determine here.
I'm just saying...
if it's useful or if it's not.
What if we don't touch it? Then it can't hurt you.
There does appear to be a language on the sword.
Okay, is it one I recognise?
It is not one you recognize, and an intelligence check would do you know it is alien.
Okay.
It is not something that follows any structures of the languages that you've studied.
Okay. So I show it to Oriana because I know she's got a proficiency for languages. And just say, can you make any sense of this? Again,
Oriana is stumped. There's nothing she can discern from the sword. It's the language is scrolling and artistic, but it is not. It's not even pictographs. It's alien. As you try and read it, it is alien.
If I say to, I can't remember his name. Our boy.
Lincoln.
The Jedi. That's the one. Yeah.
The Jedi.
I sort of pass it to him.
But you can't pass it because the thing's still holding it. You can point it out.
Oh, it's attached. Yeah, I can point it out to him.
Don't touch it.
So, can you make any sense of this?
It is not a language I have ever seen before in my many years. Where did you find it?
Just though, well, it's not attached to the thing that I found it on. So.
Oh, it was part of this statue. Strange-looking chap. or lady, can't quite tell. Have any of you ever seen this race before?
Have I?
No, I don't believe I have.
Can I roll something against it?
You can. Roll me a nature check.
Tricky. Hang on. I've forgotten where all my things are again. I don't think I'm awake today. Okay, that's going to be 23.
23. Okay.
That's work at 19 plus 4. That's how tired I am.
I've seen races before with quite severe features. If you didn't know any better, you'd say it was a very tall goblin.
It looks like a total goblin.
But it's too... Most of the goblins you've seen, while you're not very judgmental, aren't as pretty or as stunning or striking a feature as this individual. But it does seem to have the same angular shape to the skull and pointed, sharp ears. Not like an elf, they're long and sharp.
Rich, can I cast Identify without touching the item as a ritual?
Read me Identify.
Okay,
I have a step before that. I can cast Detect Magic.
start with that.
I have the Wand of Detect Magic, so I'll use that to...
Okay. So use a charge of Wand of Detect Magic. And it does flare up in your eyes as magical.
And I see the... I would know the School of Magic as well.
You do. The magic is strange.
It's like the second time you've decided this spell doesn't work properly.
No. It is.
You've made this is cruel. Look what you've done to him. You've made him think.
No, I need to work out what
School of Magic the desired effect would be.
it would be.
Invocation elements to burn or shock off your friends.
There are 2 elements of magic that inhabit it.
Okay.
Enchantment and divination.
Okie dokie.
Bit left field.
Do you want to identify?
Yeah, I'm going to come and sit down next to it.
I think you do have to touch things for Identify.
I do. I'm going to stick a finger on it, and I'm going to cast Identify.
Dice is going to get cursed.
Dice has got 11 hit points. What's the worst that could happen?
They could die.
Yeah. I'm going to stick a finger on the sword and cast Identify as a ritual, so it'll take me 11 minutes.
Okay. As you touch it, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Fucking knew it.
All right. That's okay. Am I next to Ace?
You are.
Do I get to add things to that?
You do. +3.
You know, my wisdom's okay. Come on. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to add... Can I do Flash of Genius for saving throws, or is it just...
I thought that was ability checks.
I don't know. I'm going to check now. Or I would if I was on... There we go. Check all saving throw.
Nice.
So, with Ace's thing, that would be... 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah.
So...
Important to add everything you can when dealing with curses.
That's fine. Okay, so you take 4 points of psychic damage.
Nearly dead. So close to death.
But did I die?
You're not that character
Did you die
anymore.
though?
I activated my defensive field beforehand.
You take 4 points of psychic damage.
Yeah.
However, the ritual spell the ritual identify spell isn't needed.
Okay.
You instantly know what it is.
Okay.
This is a silver sword.
see.
is what it is. No, but that is what it has been called for eons on the plane that it was first created, which is not this one. It is a +3 greatsword. You are fully aware that anyone trying to identify it or attune to it without a certain type of psionic ability cannot attune and will be damaged every time they try.
What sort of psionic ability?
You are given this information, you're given these words, almost as if the sword is telling you this information. However, the psionic school of magic, not something you've ever really come across before or know much about. However, it does tell you the name and race of its wielder.
Okay.
Kraveth
Wow.
of the Gith race.
Ravaging of the Gith race. I'm saying this out loud.
Mm-hmm.
This should probably have been in an accent then, really, shouldn't it? But there we go. Ravaging of the Gith race.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean anything to anyone?
It does not mean much to me. However, this might. And he points at something else on the statue that is not made of stone.
What is
And it is a control cuff. A bracer.
Oh. Well, we will have to investigate further next time, I think.
Yes.
Next time on Dice of the Beholder. Hey, bro. Since I reckon we're going to take a short rest, I just want to say I'm converting all my leftover spell slots to...
Yeah, of course you are. Right, okay, yes. And with that information gathered, you're all going to take a short rest, and I believe it is time that we leave it there. Welcome back, guys. It was fun having a week off, but I'm so glad I got to play D&D with you guys again.
Yay.
Anyone still watching, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sticking with us so far. Sorry we're around 2 minutes over. Really sorry, AD. Please visit, subscribe, like, watch the previous videos if you can. And the YouTube, because AD's quicker than I am, is in the chat window. Everyone have a good time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone have any about playing D&D?
Yes.
Cool. Check out all of the links below for the schedule for Heavyweight Gaming. He is back into the full swing of things because the man is an absolute machine. And most nights of this week and every week hereafter, hopefully, something is going on Heavyweight Gaming. But yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Hoorah! And thanks for coming with us on this journey. But yeah, we love you all and stay safe if you can.
Yeah.
Catch you next time. See you later.
Bye.
Bye everyone.